niko Prime Plaza, second floor. Hiyo inakuwa ni part ya job yangu, na social justice na kuongea kuhusu vile ninaona situation inaharibikia vijana, pia hiyo ni kazi yangu. More than that, performance, nimekuwa nikienda na Weba many places zenye yeye ndiye ameitwa, labda kwa sababu mimi mostly sipatikani saa zingine, but it's all about defending human rights. Hiyo ndio shughuli yangu mingi. Ukiniita hiyo siwezi kataa kuja. Thank you. Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much.
Na mtengenezee MC microphone.
Social media, wanataka kufollow.
Social media ni Kaka Bantu. Kaka Bantu kila mahali. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Oh, M-Pesa. M-Pesa ukiona tu namba inaisha na 500. Sana sana na jina ya Kiislamu ujue ni mimi. Shukran sana, Mungu awabariki. Kaka Bantu kila mahali.
Great, Kaka Bantu up in the place. Hey, tuna support arts ndio. Wewe bana, washeni bundles, niliwaambia muende mkitoka tu hapa. Mkitoka tu hapa. Washe bundles. Unje pale YouTube. Kenye tulikuwa tunaongelea asubuhi, inclusivity, ndio? And lakini nitawaplay preview tukimaliza. So now, right about now, I want to introduce an amazing soul. Anaitwa, but tukiendelea ndio tutafanya other performances. So I was told Chotara is about to leave and Noel also is about to leave, but will not keep you long. So ladies and gentlemen, right about now, I want to introduce an amazing lady. She'll take us through an awesome panel. And then after that, we will have like some 20 minutes of plenary. This lady is a communication expert. She's a HRD, a WHRD, a professional moderator. She's a media specialist, a creative, and founder, Women in Action Network. Ladies and gentlemen, she featured on a movie series called Daktari. I'm really humbled to call Estelle. Give it up for her.
Lazima muongezee makofi. Do you agree with me? Kabisa. DJ asante. Hizo gilasi nimezikawia, man. Mko vipi? Mko poa? Mmejumuika? Mnataka kusikika na tuko mtaani, si ndio? Kaka Bantu ametoka hapa. Huyo ni hoodmate wangu. Tumetoka hood moja inaitwa Canyon. Inajulikana kwa hizi issues za inaitwa cybercrime, confirm. Lakini sisi we are changing the narrative. Sema yeah. Mwenye asemi sijui shida ni nini? Ama kwenu hujawahi confirmiwa? We. Usichezea watu wa Canyon, Hao ndio wale wase, but we are working to make sure that those young people get to know that si lazima, yani crime si poa na haifai, si ndio? So nataka tu engage kwa exercise kidogo sana. Ni ya kuchangamka tu. Mimi sijaona hapo watu wakichangamka. Sijui shida ni nini. Titus pale nataka uchangamke, Mary uchangamke, Gloria. Nataka watu wa East Side wanasema jumuika. Watu wa East Side sikika. Alafu sisi wote mtaani. Sawa? Hii mkono yangu ndio ya kwaya conductor. Sawa? Haya, tunaanza. Kama ingekuwa festival. Wacha niachia hapo. So, as you've heard, my name is Estelle Mwai. I'm so delighted to be moderating this panel. Thank you so much for CIV for always believing in what I can do in driving change in our community. Asanteni sana. I really honor you. You have molded me. Mmenisaidia kwa hii maisha. Kuonekana YouTube si mchezo. Watu wote. Mchezo si uchezee wewe. Haya, sasa pia naweza ongea Kiswahili, si ndio Titus? Kabisa, kwa sababu pia siku hizi internet iko kila mahali. Uko mtaani kwetu Canyon kuna internet, Ovumbo. Watu wangapi hapa ni wa Uvumbo by the way? Watu wa Shabe? Shabe hakuna. Vile Shabe mlikuanga mnatusumbua. Lakini nimeona Elvis wa Cubanotics ako ndani ya nyumba, atawaokolea. Mnakumbuka Cubanotics? Wako ndani ya nyumba. Wenye wakumbuki, poleni, hamko mmezaliwa. So kwa hii panel we are going to be discussing about unemployment of young people. It's all about governance, youth, and what is this unemployment? Usijali, mapanelists wangu watatusaidia kuelewa hizi vitu pole pole, but we are going to take a very short time because lazima watu wengine wasafiri na lazima wengine wetu pia tuende mazoezi. Si mnaona? Mnaona? So tutaanza kama kawaida. I'm a feminist, lakini sio wale toxic. Ladies first. I'm going to introduce my beautiful and handsome panelists. Hiyo kizungu. Mwalimu wangu wa kizungu hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Naichanganya vile inafaa. So the first panelist is an amazing lady. She is called Beatrice Arusei. Ngoja kidogo. Beatrix. Sawa? Beatrix asikate kwa rafiki yangu tukitoka hapa. This guy, he has really done a lot for the community. You know, he is a human rights defender, a social entrepreneur based in Nakuru, and he's a social scientist by training. I'm talking about Vincent Tanui. I have seen his work. He is a humanist and a believer in social justice. We have the right people in this panel. Up next, this guy, we come from the same place with him also. And he has been fighting issues of being profiled. Ati a young person akionekana tu hivi ameka hairstyle inamfurahisha, ameka hairstyle kama ya Johnny Drill ule wa Nigeria, unaambiwa sasa wewe kuja hapa lazima ulale Bondeni police station. He has been fighting issues of as I have said, police brutality and extrajudicial killings. He's also a researcher in organized crime and a boxing promoter. We, lazima atulete madonga. Karibu sana mbunge aliyeparara. Leo lazima tukupake mafuta. Karibu sana mbunge. We appreciate that you could make time. Na leo sijui kwa nini hujakimbia, ujisikii vizuri. Mgonjwa. Ama ni boxing. Alikuwa nafikiria ni ring ya boxing. Utashangaa sana. So up next, I want to finish with our senior. So up next is Anthony Kamau. He works in the county government of Nakuru, Department of Environment, and he's a climate change officer. He's very passionate about climate change. And this guy, ukimwona anakaa mpole, but he is a radical activist of social inclusion of young people in government processes. Karibu sana Anthony Kamau. Naona amebeba vitabu. msimcheze, sawa? Huyu ni msomi. Ukisikia climate change, mambo ya ozone layer. Unakumbuka ozone layer? Hiyo layer sijui kama bado iko, atatuambia vizuri kama hiyo ozone layer bado inapatikana ama wamedeal nayo kivipi. He's going to tell us. Yes, lazima tutengeneze maneno namna hiyo. Hiyo kitu kingine nimeona hakuna haja nianguke. Hakuna haja. So last but not least is our senior. He's a director in youth affairs within the county government of Nakuru, and he has been playing a very crucial role in shaping the future of our young people. All right? He has a distinguished professional and remarkable track record in public service. We know him. We have been seeing him in our events. He's very passionate about the advancement of the young people agenda in Nakuru County. And he's also the founder of Disability Resource Information Center, which is an organization aimed at improving the lives of individuals with disabilities. He's none other than Director Kimemia Josephat. Karibu sana, Mr. Kimemia. We appreciate the work you have been doing in our communities. We don't take it for granted. It's not every day you invite a director in a panel discussion and he shows up on time. Not only showing up, shows up on time, asks vijana wanaendeleaje, wanasemaje, wamefika. Nataka kuongelesha hata kabla tuanze. So you see, that is a blessing. Makofi ya director wetu. I hope the mics for the panelists are working, and we hope that we are going to have a very interactive discussion. We shall have time for your questions. But remember, when you're asking a question for the panelists, when that time comes, I'm just saying so that I don't repeat it again, please don't ask a question that has already been asked. Don't ask a question that is offensive. Remember, hapa tumejumuika na tusikike pia, sawa? We are amplifying our voices. We are not trying to shout down anyone or to shut down anybody. Sawa sawa. Pia wewe ukiongea unataka usikilizwe. Please subiri tu kuwa na utulivu, utajibiwa na mambo itaendelea kuwa mzuri. Sawa? Kuna watu wamekaa kama wamestuka. Sijui walikuwa wamepanga aje. Is there a problem? Samba? Where is Samba? I had seen him, super producer. Sawa, karibu sana super producer. Yes. So, first of all, we are going to start our discussions on this it's a sensitive topic, but they are very prepared to help us understand and raise and amplify our voices on some of these issues. Kama vile unaona kwa panel, we have one lady. Yeah, thank you very much. We won't take much time. So thank you very much for Amsiv for this panel. We are going to be talking about the youth in our county and even at large, our country. So first of all, if we could start with Beatrix, ladies first. Maybe what or how are the youth surviving currently with the tough economic times like this? Since you work in a space where you interact with the youth a lot, and you are really with them on their day-to-day activities, how would you describe how they are surviving? And what is the impact in their community? The mic is there.
And I want to say that youth at the moment, the ones that we've been working with, have gone back to crime, unfortunately, because of the tough economic times, and then also the policies that the county government have enacted in the county. It has made them go back to crime. For example, there are youth in Bondeni who are depending on the bus stage that was in the railway down there. But now, when it was moved to the town center, they don't have anywhere to get money and a legal way of earning a living. So they've gone back to crime, which is really unfortunate. Another thing is, it is really unfortunate that most of them are now going back to, it's not unfortunate, they're going back to churches because they are now, because of hopelessness, they opt to go to churches because the church is selling hope. So it is very sad for that matter. And another thing is also mental health issues have risen amongst the youth. I know they're here, they'll talk about it later. There's also issues of drug and alcohol, substance abuse that has also risen so much in among the youth. So at the end of the day, we are trying to see how is it that we can partner. The government, county government can partner with CSOs, they can partner with private sector in order to create these job opportunities for them to be able to get employment.
All right, thank you very much for that. Now, Vincent, you're a social scientist, and we want to understand how can societies better understand address the diverse needs and aspiration of youth from different social, cultural, and even economic backgrounds.
Thank you very much. I think as far as the roadmap of addressing issues of young people is concerned, I don't think we lack resources in terms of policy, in terms of guidelines. So I think what is remaining is basically implementing those guidelines. We have many research done on the problem facing young people in our country, issues of unemployment, issues of training, issues of social issues. So basically what we need maybe to do is basically to be able to address some of these challenges following some of the information that is available. So for me, I think, first of all, young people are diverse with diverse needs. So basically it's about us identifying avenues of tapping this particular diversity of young people and ensure that they're able to benefit from the available economic activities. For instance, youth participation in political and governance is low, meaning the young people are not there when issues of national importance are being discussed. So maybe first thing that we need to do is basically to ensure that young people are available in these particular spaces so that they can speak for themselves and able to provide solution according to what they feel need to be done. And then of course, our training, maybe as a country, in terms of training, in terms of our curriculum development, sometimes it is not friendly to young people in terms of available opportunities. Let's say those who have been, maybe if you are in high school or in university, maybe you don't get enough that is able to utilize your potential. So I think what you need to get it right is basically to ensure that we are able to tailor our training that is accommodated to young people in terms of diverse needs.
Thank you very much. I think that was a very elaborate answer. Thank you. Now, Mr. Kimemia, maybe we would like to know, what does the Nakuru County youth policy entail, if at all it is there? And what are the opportunities for the young people? Because we have the 30% that is supposed to be allocated for the youth, the women, and there is all that. But maybe if you can tell us, is there a Nakuru County youth policy? And what does it entail? And about the 30% opportunities, what has been happening about that?
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe before I respond, allow me to make this as my opening remark.
Thank you.
That the youth space is a very unique space. And for the many years that I've worked in the youth space, this is what I've realized. That every day, even as we are seated here, there is a group of people who exit the youth space today. True or false? And as we are seated here, there are some youths who enter, or some teens who will enter the youth space today. If you deal with issues to do with women, you are likely to be a woman throughout your life, though I'm told biology and science is now changing that scenario. Yeah. But you are likely to be a woman throughout your life. If you are a person with disability like Kimemia, you are likely to be a PWD throughout your life. But of course, there is the issues of miracles and those kind of things that may come your way. But that's the ordinary scenario. But a youth is a person on the move. You are here only for a season. That in itself is a challenge. Now, to answer your question, do we have a county youth policy? The answer is no, we don't have. Do we have an upcoming youth policy? The answer is yes. Are we together? Yes. The process is on. We have taken a journey for the last 2 years to develop a youth policy. Forum CIV and other partners have been part of this journey. Organizations like Youth Bila Noma, Mtaani Connect have been involved. We have had a discussion with most of the youths. But again, it's as I said, the youth space is a very unique space, whereby if you deal with 10 youths today, or you can see we about like 200 here. If you go outside there, they will say the Sikika Jumuika forum, we were never involved. But are you involved? Yes. So it's a unique space. Most of the youths have been involved. Have we involved all the youths? No. Why? Technically, it's not possible to involve all the youths. So what are the next steps for the youth policy? It was passed by the cabinet, the draft. Now it will be taken to the county assembly. There will be a lot of public participation. Then it will be adopted and launched. So everyone will be involved. If you have not been involved so far, it's coming your way. And again, now there will be the issue of dissemination. Because we also, as he says, we don't want to just do another policy that runs into a shelf. So that will be there. The other concern was, are there opportunities for the youth? Yes, quite a number, so many of them. Then the issue is, are we aware? Are the youths aware? The answer is some are not. How do we make everyone aware? This is a discussion we should be having. Are we together? What are the opportunities for the youths? They range from one department to another. The county has got 10 departments. There are issues to do with opportunities for the youth in the Department of Health. There are issues to do with opportunities for the youth in the Department of Education. For example, the education. We give bursaries as a county, and every ward has got the bursaries. 90% of the consumers of the bursaries are the youth. Then also in education, we have vocational training centers. For the county government of Nakuru, we have 33 of them. Are the youth embracing our vocational training? Well, it's a journey. It's yes and no. But are we improving? Yes. If we go to our department, the one now I'm in charge, I handle the youth directorate. I don't handle a government for the youth. I'm just there to ensure that all the departments have something to do with the youth. Are we together? Are we having that conversation? Eh? However, we are upgrading our stadiums. Are you aware of that? You have seen the improvement happening around Afraha Stadium. People from Kireget, we are doing an academy. We hope and we believe the consumers will be the youth. Eh? For us as a directorate, besides doing the policy issues, we are having a youth empowerment program, again, that starts from the wards. And I believe, and when I say I believe, because that's another area, we should have a conversation with the youth, whether they go for public participation, and if they go, is it quantitative or qualitative participation? That's a discussion. However, there is so much that is happening. I may require a whole hour to explain what we are doing for the youth.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kimemia. Those opportunities, the youth inside here will tell the rest when you're Jafika, and we are going to go for them. Thank you very much. So a very quick one. Kindly, as Oeba had said before, we're in a safe space, isn't it? So please, if you took a hard disk from outside here, on my left, kushoto, there were some seats outside there, and our team was working from that place, and they left a hard disk on one of the seats. So please, if you took it na umeiweka vizuri, ulikuwa unangojea kuja kuannounce tukimaliza hii discussion, kindly give it to Oeba or pass it over to Mary na itafika, or to one of the team members from Forum CIV. Thank you very much. I know you have it, so please mpatie tu so that we can move on. Thank you. Now, Mbunge, you are a young person in Nakuru County, and you have had, your own share of experiences in doing very many things down here, starting an initiative, being a poet, being a human rights defender. So maybe if you can share with us, what are some of the personal challenges or experiences that yourself and other young people in Kenya face when seeking for employment?
The challenges are many, depending with whether it's the private sector or the government sector. Now, maybe starting with the government sector, there's a lot of profiling. You see, there are positions where they say, for example, when they advertise for a chief's position, they say preferably someone with a minimum age of 30 who is still a youth. But then another requirement is that you have to be married. So the government is forcing you to marry. But again, what is the starting salary of a chief? And then one of the requirements with the minimum or starting salary of a chief is that you be married. The salary in itself is not even enough to sustain you as one person, yet they want you to have been married to get the job. And then number two is profiling. There's a lot of profiling in government offices, where most of the office bearers tend to think simply because you are in jeans and in t-shirt that you don't know what you are doing, and this cuts across, maybe even in the medic sector, like in a cut across, and mostly it is not necessarily, though the road starts from the head, but it's not necessarily, say, the minister as such. The road is down up to the lowest person in that office, where the secretary will profile you even before, and then she will decide whether you will see the person who is supposed to be seen or not. But the biggest one of one of the challenges and a hindrance of youth in getting employed is corruption and nepotism, where and now it is also being funneled by the deputy president when they talk about things like shares, where if nikikupata hauna shares na kurudisha nyuma, nikikupata uko na shares na kurudisha mbele. And it's unfortunate because it has now come down to because we are voting through a secret ballot. It has now come down to tribalism, where they see my second name and automatically we will vote this side, so you won't get the opportunities. But now in Nakuru, I think the most, even if I say corruption, and corruption is wide, I think also the most enye imeenea sana ni you can't get a position, even just a sweeping position in the county, if you do not know someone. So you are forced to be. It's like you are a beggar. Now you have to juggle when it comes to elections. Who do I align myself with? This candidate has more chances of winning, but is very incompetent. But I'll have to align myself and be very poor, so that at least I get a chance at the county, which mostly when we say about, maybe say, the professional docket, it is not being given out on merit. It's being given out on support. It's like paying, ni kama kulipa the support that was given. In the private sector, mostly, though it's changing, but again, also in the private sector is where you find, I'm a fresh graduate, maybe say I graduated in 2022, but the position that they want me to have 4 years experience. So like 4 years experience, and I'm just and I don't understand how they don't count the years that you went for internship as experience. They count experience from the day that you've graduated. And also maybe say another challenge is money, because if you look at, maybe say, most families in the low income areas, it is upon the child to work hard in school and get a job so that he can sustain or at least uplift the family. But there are restrictions that make it really, really hard for you to even maybe say maintain that job.
Possible.
It's like they're
locking you out.
Yeah, it's like they're advertising the job just for formality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And already wameshajipanga. I get it. Those challenges, they are very, they're very practical. So let us go to the Department of Environment. We have been having issues of young people who were once engaged in waste management, but apparently they were made to stop by the county government some time back. And some of them were youth groups of young people who were reforming from their criminal pasts. But we did not really get the voice of the department in that issue, because first of all, we know we have issues of waste management. Then here comes a youth group that has seen an opportunity on the same, but there was not that much support from that department. Maybe you can tell us, what have you done about that? And maybe what are the opportunities for young people who want to create employment for themselves through the same waste management and keeping our environment clean and just taking care of the surrounding? Bwana Kamau.
Asante. I'm loving the discussion here because every point that is articulated here is a point that reflects where we are coming from, not just as a county, not just as young people, but as a community, as a Nakuru citizens. And it gets challenging when we are dealing with issues, but we don't have maybe the right way of articulating our issues. And the young people, I would view ourselves as planets, if you may will. Planets, whichever planet exists, if the planet fails, to be active, if a volcano fails to be active, sorry, I'm getting into science, but I want to drive a point home. We had Pluto being degazetted as a planet because it was, it was deemed inactive. The same case happens to us. If we get inactive, opportunities get to pass us. If we get inactive, we shall see others prevailing while we remain behind. Therefore, Jumuika and Sikika Mtaani, I think this is a rational moment that we could have been waiting for us, to grab this opportunity to move forward. Moving along to your question, we have in Department of Environment. Well, it's a department. It's a whole paragraph. Department of Environment. We have water there. We have sanitation there. We have climate change there. We have natural resources management there. All matters of pollution are in this department. And I want to answer your question by highlighting two acts that usually guides us. We have the Integrated Waste Management Act, and we have another act that has been very focal when coming to issues that touch to youth, the Climate Change Act. Let me begin with the Integrated Waste Management Act. The youth that you're talking about, I believe these are the youth from Manyani and the neighborhood. The county government functions and operates with structures that have been put in place. For the county government to function, by the way, did you know the county government cannot do business with you as a person? And even the best decision, example that I can give is when you apply for funds such as the Youth Enterprise Fund. You cannot get any fund as an individual because the government functions with structures. So what happened, and the measures that were put in place in Manyani and other cases also in Naivasha, we had similar cases, is that the act defines who is qualified to go na kuzoa taka. Who is qualified, not just anyone. Because the definition of who gives the service to the community and acting on behalf of the government, because the county government of Nakuru Department of Environment is the one that takes charge in matters waste and waste management. So what happened is that the structures were put in place, and for you to be involved, and this now I speak to my fellow youth who are assembled on the floor here. When we talk about structures, we are talking about go organize yourselves. Let us have a group that is registered, a group that can be able to provide a service to the county. So for them that were removed, it's not that they were removed because of, they were not merited. It's only that they were not in an organized forum where they had to be pre-qualified first. And I'm challenging every one of us. We're in the process of giving new contracts to other waste service providers in Nakuru County. My challenge to you is, are you pre-qualified? Because that's another factor. If they are not pre-qualified and there are a few things that are, looked at, this is, you have to show and you have to demonstrate that you can collect and dispose waste without kumwaga kwa barabara. So you have to have a vehicle that, it's roadworthy.
Yeah.
And another thing is that while you're doing, for you to qualify, you must demonstrate that you understand what you're doing, because as much as you're entering into a business-oriented space, you must be competent as well.
Yeah, now you'll not be required to toa kitu kidogo. So I just hope that whatever you have talked about is what will be implemented, because most of the time when young people now follow, the structure that you have talked about, first of all, let us start from where it all begins. That information, most of the time, it's not really out there. Do you agree with me, Mbunge? Do you agree with me? Sometimes hiyo information iko huko kwa ministry, isn't it? Lakini vijana wako wapi? Si mko mtaani? How many of you knew what Mr. Kamau is talking about? You cannot be involved or be engaged as a person by the county government. That is civic education. So I also want to challenge you, your department. You should also do the civic education to young people, let them know what is required of them, because most of them are passionate about environmental conservation, but they really don't know how they can get involved. But for you, as the duty bearers, I just want to challenge you. Go out there. Let these young people know you are required to do A, B, C, and D, so that we can be able to engage you and you'll be able to get, employment. Dirty hands, clean money, isn't it? That is what we advocate for. But the information is not out there. No one knows. Tunaonanga tu gari environment ikitupita mbio ya your department, isn't it? So let the information be out there. And thank you very much for even just putting it very well, highlighting every step that is required. So, Vinny, what do you think, or rather, what is the role of the rule of law in maintaining a stable and just government system,
Laws are very important. Policies are very important. They inform our everyday behavior. Making reference to our Constitution 2010, which by the way is turning 13 on Sunday. So it is pretty old. And And for me, I think if I can make just an assessment on how we abide by the laws, is that maybe as a country, we need maybe to learn on how to respect the law, starting by those who have give them responsibility to lead us. So laws are very, they guide how in terms of ensuring that we have done civic education. So while we have the laws that are very good and progressive in nature, we don't follow them. The Article 10 of the Constitution of National Values and Principle of Governance is very elaborate. Issues of patriotism, issues of integrity, transparency and accountability are some of the values that we need to inculcate in our every day-to-day behavior. So laws are very important in that they guide us on how to behave. But we need to ensure that we are able to follow the law, to ensure that we are able to live according to what is prescribed. So for me, what we should be talking as a country is how do we ensure that the problems we have, youth participation, issues of crime, can only be solved if you are able to implement what the law says, because it is a blueprint on what to achieve social equity. Once we deviate from what the law says, it becomes difficult for us to achieve as a country. So I think that is where the problem lies.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Director, what strategies has the county government put in place to stimulate job creation, therefore reducing the unemployment rates, which are very alarming and very discouraging? I just want you to tell us what not the person, the governor, but the county government, because I saw the governor down at the social hall the other day visiting the studio, but I don't know what happened after that. See, we want to know, are young people going to be getting opportunities to record for free in that recording studio, or are they going to be charged, or are they going to be coming there wanaambiwa manze studio ijaisha bado inatengenezwa tuko na mikakati? So director, please help us understand what has the county government done and the strategies that they have put in place to stimulate job creation, therefore reducing the rate of unemployment.
Thank you. I think I'll start by defining what is employment. Because again, if we get it wrong, then we might keep on saying there are no jobs. Employment can either be formal or informal, isn't it? Self-employment or wage employment, isn't it? So are there jobs for the youth? My answer is yes. There are quite a number of opportunities for the youth. But now it depends on how you look at it. There is this issue of the half grass that is half empty. A person may choose to see which part of the grass does not have water. The other one will be left thinking on what to do with the water that is in that grass, isn't it? And I think it's about mindset. And one of the biggest issues we are having in the youth space is about mindset. One of the mindset, you have to be in an office, wear a tie, the way my friend is saying, and you have to look that executive person, isn't it? But if you go to what our friends from environment do with the youths and those people who are involved there is a lot of money in the so-called dirty industry. Are we together? Are we communicating? Hii watu mnaona tukivaa tai every Friday from Monday to Friday, we are slaves. Wale watu wanaenda huko Kyoto, the kind of money they are making, the people who are involved in innovations, they are making a lot of money. So what are we doing as a county government to ensure that there are jobs? I said this is a very wide topic, but I would wish to first of all restrict myself to our department. We are supporting talents. So if you are good in sports, if you are good in music, we are already supporting that. A few meters from where I sit, we opened a studio. I would wish to declare this, that even immediately after I leave this podium, follow me if you have something to record, and you'll be recorded for free.
Hey,
Is that okay? Then,
thank you.
if I'm not there and you are turned down when you go down there, I'll leave my number and you can always call me and say, I wanted to record, I'll stand by. That facility is there for the people of Nakuru County. There are no charges, it's free of charge. It's not a vision, it's not a dream, it's already in operation. Are we together? Yes. And try me today, not tomorrow, today. Number two, as a department, also as a directorate, the other day we opened up a textile hub. The textile hub, we don't want to compete with the bed. We are not creating competition. But one thing we discovered, when our youths get out of the vocational training centers, most of them can hardly make a dress. Yet they have a diploma and a certificate. That's something we tried. There was a time I was the director in charge of vocational training, and I lobbied for Nakuru Polytechnic, popularly known then as Manyudo, to make uniform for our enforcement officers. And I lobbied and got it. But I can tell you the experiences we got. When our officers, and most of our officers were not ready to go to Bodeni, even to take the measurements, when they went there and finally took measurements, the kind of uniforms we brought, mkono moja imefika hapa, mkono ingine iko wapi? Hapa. Those people could not wear the uniforms, and I was ashamed. So today, what are we now doing at Bodeni? It's not a training facility that we have at Bodeni. It's a post-training facility, whereby when you go to Bedi, they say our polytechnics are not producing people who are up to the skills they want. Now we'll give you 6 months plus mentorship training, whereby now you are taught how to finalize a dress, how to package that dress, how to market that dress, how to save money you have made. Are you getting me? How to wake up very early, the importance of, knowing how to package yourself as a person is a comprehensive mentorship program. But all in all, we want the many t-shirts we produce in Nairobi and tracksuits for our people here. They will now be made by our youths at Bodeni. Again, that is not a dream, that's reality. Go today. Today, as we are seated, today there were 16 youths down there doing uniform. So it's happening. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Then we have a digital center down there. What are we trying to do? This issue of can you make money using your phone? Can you? Au mtuni ya kujipiga maselfie. Sasa, we want now to change and know that there is a lot of money in your pocket through your phone. So we are providing free internet. They are, through partnership with an organization called Ajiri, and Victoria is here. Kaide, you can just wave, Victoria. Yeah. If you see that young beautiful lady after this, she'll be able even to enroll you to that program, so that now we can transform your mind and teach you how to make money using internet. All those are job opportunities. Again, as I said, we are supporting our industries, music industry, our artists. The other day we had the Youth Week, and we had most of the performers coming from, actually all. Yeah. We have a performer who performed. Were you paid? Yes, it's happening. And we paid them some good money, not just small money. So some good money. It all depends with how good is good.
Yeah.
Again, it may not have been enough to buy a motorbike. Or but again, we did some good money, and they were all paid.
Yeah.
But again, the conversation here is, as a county, we are here to give people opportunities through us directly and also through our partners. Sometime last year, I came with the partners from Stanbic Foundation to this facility.
Yeah.
We met the artists here. And if I told them, we will lobby for them to get grants. And Stanbic was giving grants from 200,000 and above. And there was this conversation about our DJs, our DJs, our MCs. Can they make money out of that job? Yes. So they were told to do proposals. I would challenge one of them to start. Nani aliniletea proposal? Hakuna. Again, that's why I'm saying there are opportunities. Whatever you are doing, there is money in it. But you need to have a mindset that what you have already in hand is better than what you don't have in hand.
Yes.
What can you do with what you have in your heart to make money?
Correct.
We mentor you, come to our offices. You don't require an appointment. If you get me there, I'll see you and I will attend to you. If I'm not there, I'm not there. If I'm there, I'm there and I will attend to you. And we have a team that will mentor you, not to get an employment to the county. Maybe don't come with your CVs to my office. I don't enroll people for employment for the county, but we shall mentor you to see what you didn't see in you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that very elaborate answer. Kisikia makofi. Yeah. Director, I know he's very passionate about young people and I wish we could have more government officers like him. Huyo mwenye alilipwa atatoa kakitu ama? Beatrix, you work with young people most of the times. Maybe you can tell us, describe the rate of public participation, involvement of young people. Maybe in the last public participation, did they turn up? Because that one is also a way of holding the duty bearers accountable for the projects they're going to implement later, because during public participation is when we give our views. We want a studio to be built. We don't want a school. Hatutaki hospitali, tunataka tujengewe soko. So have young people been participating in these public participation forums? Do they think it is important? What is your take on that, since you work with them most of the time?
Okay, one thing I'll say is, compared to last year and the previous years, this year has been better because some of the youth have been participating in the public participation. Another thing is something that I'll say, it's the endionization of everything. Youth are not able to go to the public participation because they want to be paid. Unajua unapewa fair. So wanatoka, how can they afford kutoka penye wanatoka? Let's say I come from Rongai constituency. Rongai constituency is from Kiamuni to Soin ward, uko Kambia Moto. Ikiwa natoka isaidia ya nini na isaidia Kingata, niniko kia inaitwaje Kambia Moto. Public participation iko Kambia Moto. Mtu atatoaje fare aende huko na they are unemployed. So that's another reason that most of the people do not attend. Another reason is also because wanaambiwa it's advertised through the newspapers. How many people here can afford to buy newspapers daily? You get? So why can't the government, county government, do this through social media such that they are able to plan themselves in advance so that they are able to attend the public participation? Another thing also is, in previous years, we've seen that, yes, we go for public participation, but there are goons there that have been hired by the MCAs and everyone. So when you say something, when you propose something, it doesn't go as much. So the only other option is we mobilize most of the youth from every ward or every constituency to go there such that they can have power. And we know we have the power because we are so many as youth. So at the end of the day, we need to, as in compared to the previous years, there's an increase, an improvement, but we can do better. Sindio? Hata Oeba hapo hivi ameuliza watu wangapi walienda public participation, not even a quarter of us attend this public participation. So it's also a challenge to us as young people to always attend the public participation so that we can be able to engage in the decision-making processes in the county government and even the national government.
Yeah, and sometimes the marginalized groups also, they feel left out. What do you feel that the county government maybe can do to have an all-inclusive process?
I think one thing is we can give up for the government is they've done the affirmative action. So the affirmative action is working. However, last week we were in another meeting and the NGAF, the GAF, walisema wamenunua chairs, wamenunua tents, hizo vitu zote. Did they consult the youth? Were you consulted? Exactly. So we need to have that human-centered approach that we are talking to the youth. We are getting solutions from the youth because they are the ones who are going through these issues. But when we sit in a conference and we decide for them, how are we helping them? So at the end of the day, I'm thinking the government has done well with the inclusion through the affirmative action, though they can do better. There's also capacity building of marginalized groups. If there are people from PWD, from the marginalized groups who wants to vie for a position, the government can also capacity build them and also collaborate with other CSOs who work with marginalized groups, such that they can capacity build these people for them to take up positions. Another thing that I can say is creating awareness, because most of the people, tukienda uko Kuresoi North, penye Ogieks wako, how many of them are represented in this government? Very few. So at the end of the day, we need to create awareness to everyone. Yeah, to everyone. Another thing I can say is we continue collaborating with other networks such that we bring these people together, the youth to also take spaces in government positions, and also the government to employ people from diverse backgrounds. Because unaona saizi vile kumesema, mbunge amesema kuhusu corruption, nepotism, and cronyism. People are being given jobs because they aligned themselves, not because of merit. So at the end of the day, if the government employ people from diverse backgrounds, then we are also increasing the knowledge of those people who are marginalized.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Beatrix. Thank you. Mbunge, briefly, just tell us, do you feel that young people have really taken up activism as a way of advocating for good governance? And how are young people leveraging on the social media platforms, to voice their grievances, not to shout down and to name call, but to let the duty bearers know that, hey, we are here. We are using this media platform. So if you want to communicate to us, please use this. Do you feel that the young people have done it effectively, and especially on the angle of activism, demanding for social change, bringing social change themselves? Do you feel that it has really been impactful? Briefly too, before we take the last contribution from Mr. Kamau, then we have the audience also bringing in their questions.
First, I'd like to say that activism now as a whole has always been done by the youth. Even when we go back to history and look at people kama kina Urengo and when Kenyatta University was very active, those people were young. And so what maybe has changed is just the medium. We are now using social media sana because there is more reach, and to some extent there is more protection on social media. But in some cases it has been successful. In some cases it has not been successful because of, number one, the nature of our country where we are so divided, but also because we are very good at responding with anger, but not very good at following up. But again, as you have said, maybe not to name call, but that is again one of the things that is making these office bearers get away with it. Because if I say kuna MCA ameuza nafasi, which MCA? Ni wa Nakuru, ni wa Mombasa? I should just call out the MCA and call out his name.
And his behavior.
Yes, because if I'm going to write a statement, I won't write and also it's very unfortunate because we have cases where now eventually we'll be forced to vote out an individual instead of looking at maybe the opponents and what they have to offer. Like we have the Biashara MCA Fadhili has been mentioned in more than 5 scandals in less than a year. And how does he respond? He responds by collaborating with rogue DCI police and coming to arrest us in our houses and
harass us.
And this is what they do.
Yeah.
They come, they take you. There are no charges because they know there's nothing they can charge. and they tell you plainly. But then they'll take your phone and then they'll delete those posts. But also, you know, when these things happen, even after, you know, we go to social media just to amplify and maybe let you know that this is what is happening. But at the end of the day, we are supposed to go and file a report. But kama unaenda kuripot na yule askari mwenye ako kwa OB ndo mwenye alikuja kukushika akakwambia wewe ndo unasumbua mheshimiwa. So how will it work? But in some cases it has been very helpful. One of the major areas where social media has been very helpful is for security. You know, there was a time when ungeshikwa ama ungechukuliwa whether by people, because every time the government says that those are not police. There's no day that the government has admitted that our police went and arrested so once. Even the media reports it like people who claim to be police, but these are police officers who are known. I might not know all of them, but there are people who know them, and atakwambia ule anakuaga polisi, ule anakuwa polisi. But the government will always deny. So one of the areas in your social media inasaidia sana ni for your security. Like if I'm arrested right now, I can post it on social media and say I've been arrested and so that the police can really act. Then I really believe that when someone is doing good, you tell them that you have done good. The county government, speaking now, addressing now, maybe say the county government. The county government, there are things that they do right, which we tell them this one is good and we agree. And also there are things that they do bad, and now that's where the conflict comes, because they want us to always sing their praises, and that is where I say the problem with now, because everyone has access to internet, they are even deploying counter narratives to when we are raising these issues. When say to link this second point of using social media and the second point and the first point that I responded to of employment. Personally, as Mbunge, I don't believe this government has goodwill for the youth, with the youth, because more than 4 schools have lost land to private developers. The county government is silent. So how will you say you are working towards employing the youth when you are cutting down where they can get this education? So are you planning to employ doctors who didn't go to school? You can't say as a government, okay, you can say, but it doesn't make sense. You can't say that you are supporting talent when the major fields that we are supposed to practice these talents on are being grabbed, and the government and the county government is silent. And then the county government can't say that it doesn't know, because we raise these things every day. And sadly, it is sad because we currently have a government that says God to power through prayers, and the church is the biggest perpetrator. Currently, as we speak, there's a school in Bondeni called St. Paul's Primary School, and we've been very vocal about it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing as much as you can do, because number one, you are not an investigating officer. You don't have access to these records. So these private developers are just colluding with the government officials who are very powerful than us. And then the problem comes with maybe when they get me, I'll be alone, and maybe I'll have no time to respond. And that is when now you'll get different stories and narrations being spinned. So I think if the county government is really serious about youth employment, there's room for everyone to be employed in sports, from lawyers to trainers to nutritionists. There's room for everyone to be employed in art. But every day they are taking a piece of these spaces that we are supposed to nurture these places. So if they are really serious about these things, start by reclaiming our land. Even this theater, this is not the whole of theater. A very big portion of this land has already been taken. And even this small one that is remaining, maybe you just don't know, but even this small one that is remaining, ikona vita, because there are people who are really interested in taking this place. So if the government is really serious about the youth and employment, you don't have to reclaim our spaces, and then the rest will fall into place. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a very passionate contribution. Thank you, Mbunge. So maybe Mr. Kamau, on the issue of attaining the goal that was set about the 10 billion trees. We saw there was an advertisement on the Green Army, but that whole process was marred by corruption and very many allegations of niliambiwa toa kitu kuja behind the tent. The Green Army thing, that is what I'm talking about. We saw that from the national government. Because you're right here at the county government, and these are the young people who should be in that Green Army movement, taking advantage of that opportunity. What are you doing about that as a department?
That question has been asked in another forum, but put differently. But the concern is well received, because the Green Army and the entire goal of the, of the movement was to help achieve the 10 billion trees. However, this is just one of the forums that has been given for tree planting to be done. Now, earlier I mentioned something to do with Climate Change Act. I didn't go into details because the question at that time was majorly on waste management. But before I get to the Climate Change Act, because hapo kuna maneno, there's something that my colleague, my director here mentioned about self-employment and the way we can, find ways to find money for our pockets. Might be the dirty way, but the money is clean. And we were just having some honest, not honest, but very fancy discussion here during break time. And there was a plan to do cabros in this space that we are in here. And I happened to mention see yourself begin from the Nakuru, because this should be something that is driven from, it should be an intrinsic value, if you say so. But as much as the county government is there to give guidelines, what we can do is create an environment that, makes you to achieve whatever you desire. In Gilgil, we have 25 acres land where we want to introduce a waste recovery facility. I know we all know about Kyoto. I know that the work that has already been done there. But in Gilgil, we want to change the game. We want to finish the narrative that waste, taken from home ends up in the dump site. My brother here, Vincent, I'll go to him and tell him, I want you, Vincent, from today, I want you to be segregating your waste. Plastic unaeka kando, papers unaeka kando. Then Vincent ataniuliza, ile gari itakujia ni gari ngapi? Sini moja? Ama mumeonanga mbili nyinyi? It's always one, eh? So ile yote amesegregate tena inaingia kwa gari moja. So that's the narrative we want to change. And again, to echo director's words, it's not a dream, it's a reality in the making. Because the 25 acreage land, we are going to have waste recovery facilities. Wale wana deal na plastics, wale wana deal na glasses, kama hizo nimesema zinatengeneza capros. Those that are dealing with e-waste, those that are dealing with, rubber, any waste, it shall not be ending up in our disposal site, but it shall be ending up as a raw material for another product. That's one of the areas we can really tap, and these are the areas that will help us even stand firm to make sure that we are acknowledged for what we are doing. Climate Change Act now. In Climate Change Act, just allow me to ask a question. How many of us here are members of World Climate Change Planning Committees?
Repeat. What the?
How many members
Tu vizuri.
here? All right, that's a good question. The World Climate Change Committees, because there are a few hands here, I saw one from Naivasha, from someone from Naivasha. This is the platform that gives the citizens of Nakuru an opportunity to articulate their interest in conserving the environment by, dealing with climate change adaptation, climate change mitigation, or building resilience for yourself and for the sake of the county. Now, the ward planning committees, the process they were constituted, and this is something that now gets interesting, the composition is not limited to a specific group. Because the composition was done or was articulated in a way that every person, inclusivity was achieved. So we have 2 persons of either gender, no age limit. Then we have 2 persons of either gender, but must be under the youth category. 2 persons of either gender who must be under the category of PWDs. Then we have to have 2 persons of either gender who qualify to be people with special needs. To be special needs, supposing we are here in Nakuru, this is East. Who are the minorities in Nakuru Town East? Could be a person from Kisumu, could be a Luo, right? So that person qualifies to be a minority. When you go to the Ogiek, if I am a Kikuyu there, I'll be the minority in that space. So it was giving us an opportunity for us to articulate issues. If that process iliwapita, here is some good news. There are projects that are coming up that will be funded by the county government of Nakuru and under the FLOCA program, where these projects are looking for solutions from mashinani. So if you don't have a company, nyumbani, you better go and look for one. Go compose one. Because tree nurseries, we shall be in need of trees. Now to answer your question. We shall be in need of these technologies that turn waste to other products. The waste that gets to Gyoto, we want to reduce that. However, we cannot implement all that because the fund is particularly targeting the people on the ground who come up with solutions from the ground, not influenced by the MCA, not influenced by the ward admin, not even influenced by the environment, which is the parent of that fund. So to answer your question, you might not go plant trees under the other movement, but you have an opportunity to even establish tree nurseries, to establish ways that you can transact with the committees that are already on the ground, so that you sell these, you come up with a way of selling these seedlings to them. And by the way, did you know that those ward planning committees have been given the leverage to go even look for finances for themselves? Yes. And this is what we have been telling the ward planning committees. Go look for funds, do what you want to do, but let it be anchored on creating climate resilience, adaptation, and mitigation.
Thank you very much. That is a lot of useful information. And I'm sure that information is not out there. That is why our voice was very loud. How are they constituted? So I think your department has a lot of civic education to do, clearly, isn't it? How many agree with me? Mikono juu. So Bwana Kamau, naona uko na kazi mingi sana.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, that challenge, you really need to work on it. And thank you for coming. Najua ungekataa kukuja because sometimes the issues of environment, not very many people, want to ask those questions, want to answer those questions. But thank you for giving us that very useful information. So to my audience, I think Oeba will go around. We are going to pick how many questions, Oeba? We, mambo imechemuka. We are going to pick questions.
Check.
Yeah, let us start from the backbenchers. Oeba alikuwa amewaacha nyuma kidogo. So Oeba, please pick somebody from the back. 3 rounds of questions, yeah? So round 1, the panel answers. 4 questions. Okay. 4 questions, we get the answers from our panelists. You direct Oeba, are the questions going to be directed to a specific person or general? Specific. Thank you very much, Biko. So pale nyuma, let us have the first questions very fast. Be brief, usijirudie sana.
Wapi?
Pale.
Okay. Kwa Babushe hapa.
Karibu na mlango.
Nani?
Babushe.
Habari zenyu nyote. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Babushe Maina na nimekuwa nikipigania hii mambo, nikifanya hii mambo ya youth hii mnafanya tangu mnikuwe na miaka kama yenyu. So sisi ndio tulipigania section 2A. We were the people who were in the streets fighting for the repeal of section 2A. We fought for the rights of the youth and we fought for the rights of the creatives. Right now, I do not know whether you, all the youths here, know that Nakuru is the only UNESCO creative city in East Africa. And being a UNESCO creative city, it is opened up opportunities that I do not know. They are more than the ones we'll get in heaven. But now that we are still here on earth, I'm very surprised that the UNESCO agenda has not been addressed. I'm hearing for the first time that we have a textile activity in Bondeni. I do not know why this is not being related to the opportunities that are there within the UNESCO agenda. I'm hearing about environment and creation of jobs.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Bunge looked at jobs which have got ties and suits. But the way we've been trained from before is that the jobs are 5 meters from your doorstep. So if you cannot start thinking that way, then we stop looking at government for jobs. It's a challenge to the youth. The jobs are
your question.
The question. Okay, the question is, what has been involved? What is the understanding of all those people sitting there about why we are not engaging our creative city in employment of these young people?
Thank you very much. A lady, please. Oeba. Pick a lady. Okay, another gentleman, then 2 ladies.
Thank you very much. My name is Biko, Steve Biko, named after Bantu Steve Biko. And my question goes to Mr. Kamau. And you were talking about opportunities in terms of AGPO and the tendering process, particularly for the youth. I know the Article 227 of the Constitution provides for youth as a marginalized group to be an exception in being subjected or taken through a competitive process in order to access the AGPO opportunities. Because why would you allocate an opportunity for a marginalized or disadvantaged group, then later disqualify them because they are disadvantaged? Talking about you have to have a vehicle for you to get a tender. How long will you as a youth take to get that vehicle to be able to access that tendering opportunity? So my question is, do we really need to address these biases in this in the Constitution and these tendering processes?
Thank you very much. A lady, quickly.
Nani?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
Jina langu ni Muna ama unite Mama County.
nitaanza na disclaimer. Ukiangalia kwa constitution yetu nasema tunafaa kuwa na 2/3 gender roles, si ndio? Kwa panel iko na 2/3. Titus, you need to do something, eh? Siangali Estelle kwa sababu yeye hayuko kwa panel, yeye ni moderator. So we need to have representation of women. Next time, Titus, tafadhali. Ya pili, we are talking on a very critical issues, security. We do not have a representation of security, Titus. Youths, tuko both at the national and county government. We also need the national government to be on board so that some of the questions we are trying to ask, the national government are supposed to be able to answer, especially on AGPO. Now we go to the youth policy.
Panelists, the question to the panelists.
No, I'm just saying generally because this is a discussion.
I think we are going to have a time to give our feedback on the whole activity. Thank you.
On the youth policy, Bwana Kimemia, we are grateful that we've seen there's a milestone and we are praying the county assembly will be able to pass the policy. That is a good job you've done. However, I have a query on the studio sustainability. Some years back, a previous governor, Kinuthia Mboga, was able to support Nakuru Players Theatre with establishing a studio. But as I speak, the studio is not right now functioning. What are some of the key lessons that you learned from Nakuru Players Theatre that is going to be able to support and sustain the current studio that we have on board? The other issues on this textile hub. You open a textile hub. It's a good idea that you open the textile hub. However, my biggest concern is we will not be involved in public participation because our feeling was if these same resources could have been allocated to Nakuru Polytechnic, which we've been crying for so many years to have a polytechnic that is not Manyundo. And some of the key issues that we are saying that people they do not understand how to make a uniform. What could be some of the challenges that attribute them not to make uniform that are fitted for our officers? Those are the things that maybe you could be able to readdress, and how best is this textile hub going to be sustainable in Nakuru County? Put it in mind that the resources that are being used for the textile hub are resources from the public. Pesa yetu tunalipia huko ndani.
Thank you very much.
I think wajibu hizo kwanza.
Yeah, those are 3, right?
Oh,
there are 4 questions.
Yeah. One lady. There's a lady hapa alikuwa ameinua mkono sana.
All protocols observed. Hamjambo. My name is Stella Nyambura from Nakuru Hair and Beauty Association. My question goes to director. You've talked about recording something, it's a studio and the textile industry, something like that. But is there any plan for Nakuru Hair and Beauty youth workers?
Thank you. That question is very direct, very good.
Sorry, I have another question, please.
Please, one question so that we can move very fast.
Just one. For the training you talked about, most of those students who come for attachment into our salons, most of them are half-baked. So we normally start training them afresh. And after 1 month, they go back and graduate. Not that they are graduating, na hawajui anything. So they end up going back going back home with nothing because they cannot come. We cannot give them work because can we change that syllabus? Can we be involved in making that syllabus?
Okay, thank you. Maybe we can get the reactions from the panelists. Yeah. Let us start with Mr. Kimemia.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm a person who will always welcome challenges and also especially with the positive challenges. I wish to address the issues pertaining to the Bodeni Textile Hub. First and foremost, the Bodeni facility is not a Nakuru East-West facility. It's a county government of Nakuru facility. My office is not a sub-county office, despite the fact that it's inside a sub-county. So the issue of the UNESCO city, which Nakuru is, it's good that now the municipal board in charge of the city lies on what the department is doing. They don't require to do another textile hub for the UNESCO. But again, a person from Kuresoi and a person from Joro, which is not part of the UNESCO city, Nakuru, can also come and lie on the sea. Is that clear? Number two, why do we start a production hub and not empower Nakuru Vocational Training Center? I've said sometimes it's good to have clear boundaries. The VTCs, vocational training centers, do training. Ours are post-training facilities. Are we together? And beside the textile hub, for those of you who have read the CIDP, we are coming up with four production hubs. One is the textile hub, which is already ongoing. That one is as good as done. Then we are doing for Kuresoi South and Kuresoi North, we will do a hub on production and packaging. You see, they produce a lot of potatoes, a lot of carrots. After 3 days or 4 months, they are rotten, isn't it? Now we want to teach the youths there how to package and also sell them. For Bahati and the Subukia areas, we are doing construction hubs. We need our youths to know how to do cabros, culverts, bricks, and all those kind of things. For Naivasha, we are doing a furniture hub. So then what's the way as far as sustainability is concerned? As a department, it's not our business as department to go selling clothes and go selling bricks. That's not our mandate. So what we have proposed is that there is a bill that is coming and it will be subjected to public participation, and I hope we shall start even receiving memorandum from you people on establishing of a youth company in the name of Nakuru County Youth Engagement Service, NCS. We will hand over all the production centers to that company. We will hand over the studios and all those things. An interesting conversation that we are having with the Department of Trade is that most of these markets that we are having, and especially the one that is in Naivasha and the one that is at Bodeni, we want the youth to take up second and third floor if you are involved in the small industries space. Because most of these traders are not likely to go upstairs to buy carrots and those kind of things. Isn't that true? Yeah. And you fight, and this has been tried in Naivasha, there was a lot of fighting for the ground space. Yet the up space is empty. So we are telling youths, can't you form groups, start industries like bead and leather making industries, then we allocate you the third floor or the fourth floor. You know, it's a good beginning. Yeah. So this conversation is there. For the studio, again, it will sustain itself. We had a conversation with the chair of this facility, and we reflected back on what happened then. There was a time the county government spent 14 million on this facility. Part of the money went to buying equipment for the studio. However, today there is no studio to showcase, isn't it? Yeah. Now we said, now the fact that we tried something and failed, can we now try it using another formula? Let the items be under the custody of the government, then we'll see whether it will work. And there is no reason why it won't work. As we are starting here, for the last 2 weeks, we have recorded eight. How many, Victoria? You have with me here? 10 for 2 weeks. So it's happening. So these are direct results, but again, we are piloting. If it works, we are likely to open another studio in all the sub-counties for you people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kimemia. Maybe Mr. Kamau, you can respond so that we can take the next round of questions briefly.
Thank you. Biko, I got your question loud and clear. And I appreciate your question because it shows how committed and how interested you are in this field. However, there's someone talked about engaging from a point of knowledge from a previous session. And the county government gives 30% opportunities to the young people. And when it comes to waste management, the 30% is one of the things that are very critical when determining now through the procurement process who qualifies to be given that service? Do you have to have a lorry for you to do business as a waste service provider? The answer is no. However, you must demonstrate the capacity to carry that waste to the disposal site. So I'm here challenging you, Biko. Go to your drawing board. See whether you can do business with a person who owns a truck already. Because you're not carrying the waste every day, not the whole day from morning till evening. You can be able to align yourself in that manner because the procurement process will only look, are you pre-qualified? Number one. Number two, did you bid? Number three, when you are qualifying, do you have a means of transport that can transport now that waste to the disposal site? Remember, this is a very competitive field. Remember, we are more than 70% of the population. Kwa hivyo ni ukikosa kidogo, unarushwa nje tu, roho safi. Be creative, be competitive.
Okay.
Kuwa mjanja, ujanjaruke pia.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
In terms of AGPO, I think we're not doing good. We can do a small mathematics. The budget for Nakuru County for this financial year is 18 billion. The recurring expenditure is about 12 billion. Development expenditure is about 6 billion. So we can work with 6 billion as a figure of 30%. 30% of 6 billion is about 2.5 or 2 billion, something there about. So these are tenders eligible to young people. Have we done this? So I think for us to be able to assist young people is actually implement what the law says. Give the tender to young. If you are able to give each and every year 2 billion worth of tender to young people, you'll be moving milestone in terms of youth empowerment. So I think for us, you need to have this discussion and actually audit and ensure that this is done.
Yeah, but there is accountability in that 30% that is provided for in the law. Thank you very much. Director, you have something to add?
Yeah, on AGPO, I think it's important that I mention something. There is always a misconception about the issue of AGPO. Because most of you come to my office and they say, I have an AGPO certificate. Having an AGPO certificate does not disqualify you or qualify you directly to get a tender. You have to be pre-qualified. You have to have a license. Are you getting me? Those procedures and processes. However, if you have an AGPO certificate, and it should be made very clear that starting from today, actually, and Titus is my witness, today morning, all the CCs were supposed to sign a document, the performance contracting today, and the governor was to oversee that. I'm one of the people who have participated in coming up with that document. And the issues to do with the youth and AGPO. And AGPO does not only mean the youth, it means PWD, women, and the youth. Every CEC from today henceforth will be accountable. It has to do a report every quarter. How many beneficiaries of the AGPO framework? So the rules are already there. We don't need new rules. What we need as a county, and we are doing it, is that we have to ensure. Ensuring part is what has missed. But now we have structures, our CCs, our CEOs, the directors will be signing the performance contracting. And AGPO issues are very clear.
Thank you very much. And we hope that we'll also address the issue of public officers who use, proxy companies. That has been a problem. It has been on the rise. But I believe that with that framework, you have also put in place such measures for such public officers for the sake of accountability. All right, another round of questions. This time, let us start with the lady right here. Yes, with the headband.
Thank you. My name is Teresa Abel, and my question goes to Mr. Kimemia. You mentioned about the youth empowerment program in the Nakuru County Youth Policy. So I would like for you to shed some light on the program and expound on how interested youths can be onboarded once it's passed.
Thank you very much. There is a gentleman in red, this side. He was the first one
Wapi?
to shoot his question.
Here.
Yeah.
Sikuwa nimemuona Junior Mani.
Thank you. Now, my first question goes to the county government. Kamau, about waste management. It's in public domain that waste management right now is an issue and it's a challenge. But as you've particularly stated that there are pre-qualifications for you to be able to access those tenders. The biggest challenge, which I think you're running away from it, is corruption. Because one, for a fact, the company that has been given is actually right now picking wastes. Your area, Manyani, the one you are talking about, is a company owned by a government official. It's a proxy company. Na alinyang'anya vijana who are qualified to do that work. So the main issue here is not so much of pre-qualification, but the main issue here is corruption. Because sisi kama vijana, we've come together, we've done all that, but still, because we don't have that muscle and we don't know who is who in the county government, hiyo tender inaendea mtu mwenye haiko na connections na anajulikana. My second question, this one will still fall under Kimemia and also Kamau.
Yeah.
We are talking about job creation. Kuna government jobs na pia kuna zile jobs zenye tunajicreatia sisi wenyewe as youths. Thank you, Kimemia, you've stood with me as a youth. Umenipea kazi. But now my question is licenses for us youths. It's becoming a challenge. Mimi ile kazi nafanya graphics and designing, I'm required to pay licenses worth around 15,000. Hii 15,000, ule youth mwenye anataka kuanza hiyo biashara, haiko na capital ya 20,000. If the 15,000 goes to licenses, hii 5,000 atafanyia nini?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a high time you harmonize and find a framework where sisi kama youths tutakuwa exempted to a certain percentage, kama it's a startup, tulipe like 40% of that license as we begin, so that at least tuweze kufanya hizo makazi.
Thank you very much for that question. There is the gentleman at the pillar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my questions, I'll direct them to my friend, Mr. Kimemia. At least we worked with you. Mine is directly to the studio. I thank God I was involved during its launch. Now, what plans do you have towards marketing, promoting, and the distribution of the works that will be coming out of that studio? And we have a very critical issue when it comes to unemployment. It is a very, very dire issue. So my question, I'd like to directly to the organizers of this event, Forum CV. I know they have been working with creatives within the space of governance, but I understand they're also working very hard to see what they can do towards dealing with the issue of unemployment. Now, within the creative space, my friend Babushe just said, Nakuru is already designated as a creative city within UNESCO. There are serious opportunities within that platform. Now, what plans do you have towards maximizing those opportunities? Because right now, I can simply say, when it comes to unemployment, let's not take it lightly. Most of these young people here, they don't have work. And we can also talk about creating work using the creative space, which is okay. But to what level is the government going to create that enabling environment for these creatives to create work for themselves within that space of the creative city? And is the government also aware of the opportunities that are there within the creative space? Because it's just not only music. Within the creative space, we have music, we have arts,
we have design, we have gastronomy, we have a lot. We have literature. So my thing is, let's maximize this opportunity of Creative City to see how we can tackle the systemic issue of unemployment, because it's not a joke. We are in a very dire situation right now. Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you very much. There is a lady at the back.
At the back.
She has a headscarf.
Headscarf.
Yeah.
Inaitwa hijab.
Yeah. Her hand has been up throughout.
Sana. Inaitwa hijab. Headscarf. Kwa majina naitwa Hafsa, and I think it's very important to give credit where necessary. Sindio? Mimi, I will refer and I will agree what Kimeme is saying, Mr. Kimemia. Please, because you have that information, I have been there. Try and use that space. Sawa sawa. Number 2, now this is my question. Under the Community Registration Group Registration Act 2022, most of the youth, they try to come up with self-help groups or CBOs they need to register for them to get funds. But now, the problem is, you can't ingia kwa shida, but we really need help. Aki, we really need help. Kwa sababu it's very devastating and disappointing where we go to mavijana tumehustle, tumepata pesa ya kuregister that group. Tukifika pale mali tunafaa kuregister kwa social services, we are being told to add an extra 1,000. Where it is not receipted, upewi receipt. Wewe unaambiwa wewe lipa tu 5k, utalipa 5k. Alafu wanakuambia utapewa receipt ya 5k. The 1,000 haina receipt, and it's a shame somebody will take the money and put it in her pocket. I am telling you. And I'm sure Beatrix will attest to that as well. It has not happened once, it has happened twice. Mimi speak on my behalf.
Yeah.
Sawa? But kindly, mtatusaidia aje? Kwa sababu that is question number 1.
All
Question
right.
number 2, it goes to contract ya garbage collecting. Ina last how long? Juu kuna watu wamekaa hapo haki, hii contract ya waishi manze, utuambie ni lini.
Yeah. Thank you, Hafsa.
Hii mambo ya garbage ni kama inawa waste sana.
Inatu waste.
Alafu unajua Estelle, hii inaitwa hijab, bado hii ni hijab. Usipime.
Ndio maana sikutaka kutaja. Ndio usilete tafash. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Before I get to this session of a lot of questions, I would wish to just answer the lady in white there. She asked a question, and I would not wish to be classified as those persons who assume people or assume questions or dodge questions. There was the issue of beauty and salon docket. The good news is that, although I'm not the one who is supposed to say this, but I know and I can share the information, is that the KIOP program imeisha. But now the government, the national government, has set aside 20 billion for a program they'll be launching very soon called Nyota. Na sio ile nyota ya Mombasa ile ya Pastor Ezekiel, ni nyota ya serikali kuu, is the new version of the KIOP. So kindly, when we get out of this, liaise with me, I'll connect you and see, I'll refer you to who to go and see, so that now you can ride on that. Then your programs that you do as beauty and salon, beauty field or the beauty space, you can now ride on that program. There are areas you can benefit from. Is that good enough? The issue of corruption, allow me to just say something about it. How do we solve these issues of corruption? Umesikia rafiki yetu pale, huyu amevaa hii, umesema inaitwaje? Hijab, wanaitishwa giri moja, na giri sio pesa kidogo as a youth, na pia haina receipt. That means I benefit the government, I benefit anybody, inaenda kukuliwa nyama au pombe jioni. Si ni kweli? I think one of the best things we can do to solve this issue of corruption is one small tactic: name and shame. If Kimemia is the one, don't say there is a government officer. Say Kimemia Josephat.
Call him out.
Yes, anaitisha giri moja na anipatie receipt. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now we have to name and shame. If there is that government officer ambaye amepewa tenda to correct garbage na ni wa Department of Environment, usiogope, kwani atadu, see, just name and shame. And I can tell you, we government officer, tunaogopa kunemiwa sana sana sana. Take it as a charity. Is that a good way forward? Usiogope hakuna pali utapelekwa. Just say it's so and so doing it. Otherwise, this issue of an imaginary person, how do you solve it? It cannot be solved. Is that okay? Okay, now I go to Teresa about the issues to do with youth empowerment program. This is how it works. And that's why we have a youth policy. Maybe let me say how it has been working. We discovered that in the name of public participation, there is the money allocated to each and every ward, ranging from 20 million to 30 million. Mlijua hivyo? Mnajua hivyo Every year. And mwananchi ni yeye ana decide. So when I was seated in my office, I saw some funny things happening. I could see requests from the wards, pesa ya youth empowerment, that youth from a certain ward requested for reflector jackets. Pesa gapi wameweka? 3 million.
Hey.
Then now you keep on asking yourself, really?
3 million.
Youth asking for a reflector jacket as an empowerment item. So we fought that internally. But now we were told, you know what, why you cannot win this battle? Is because you don't have a policy. Everything must be anchored on a policy. So the youth policy that is about to go through, it may not be the best, but it's better to have it than not have it. Then we shall keep on improving on it. Clearly describe a youth empowerment program. It will be based on things that go towards creation of right industries. Hii mambo ya kununulia watu waduthi helmets, t-shirts za wakati wa campaign. Actually, last year, hiyo mwaka ya uchaguzi kulikuwa very interesting. Some wards even asked for printing machines za t-shirts. Of course, unajua haikuwa ni mayouth waliuliza. Tunajua hiyo siri vile kulienda. But now that has been stopped by the youth policy. Muombe Mungu ikifika kwa Sebre, ipitishwe, read it, recommend how we can improve on it. Sawa sawa? It was not drafted in heaven. Imedraftiwa tu hapa Nakuru, so it has a lot of mistakes, but it's better than not having it. Is that okay? Issues to do with use and licenses. When I was the acting director for trade some few months back, we embarked on a journey to do what we are calling SIGO permits or SIGO license. It's not healthy to subject one trader into having 5 or 6 licenses. Unaulizwa ya firefighting, ya sewage, your license ingine ni ya nini? Ya health, all those. I know there is something that is happening. I had not foreseen this question come. I would have answered accurately, but I can assure you the current administration is working on ways of getting SIGO licenses to most of the businesses apart from some. Okay? I know vijana wanataka sana kwanza mambo ya wines and spirit, but we shall have a discussion later. Whether kwa sababu ndio kuna maneno hapo. Issues to do with the sustainability of the studio. I can tell you this is something that we are piloting. Next Tuesday, we are having a meeting. This has been piloted in other counties. Victoria is here. She knows they are doing it in Machakos, Kisii, Makueni. Which other county? Bugoma. So we are running what is happening elsewhere. We are having a meeting next Tuesday to see how we can create sustainability for the same. Right. Lastly, on issues to do with registration and groups, unfortunately, it's not a county function. Registration of groups is done by the national government. However, corruption must be fought at all angles. Is that okay?
Yeah.
On issues of creatives and supporting the creatives, yes, it's important. And one of the steps that we have taken, initially the creatives were under the bigger Ministry of Sports, Youth, blah, blah, blah. A big statement, a whole paragraph. This time, in the current government, the governor has created a directorate dealing with only 2 issues, tourism and culture, and creatives are within that space. That means now there will be a special budget for the creatives and the activities, associated with that.
Okay.
So, asante.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kamau?
Yeah, addressing two questions. One from Hafsa. How long does the contract last? This goes for 3 years. Just told you earlier that we are in the process. I think next year we are going to have the tendering process. 3 years. If there are any issues, again, I think the floor has been very, open. These are the issues that we bring forth. Na sauti yetu itasikika. On the issue of corruption, there is no other way other than what our director has mentioned, that we have to call out these people. So for the interest of that question, not from Hafsa, from the other guy who cannot be seen, Wamanu.
Favor us for the creatives in Nakuru County, for us to earn from our art. So it's something that we can do this together and make sure that youth take up spaces, and especially in decision making and also in governance. So it is a challenge to us, and let's work together, form these groups and take up the youth fund. There are so many affirmative action funds that are there for us. If we are able to form groups and take up these funds for us to be able to create employment for ourselves and also create employment for others, it will be a very good thing for us to do. Thank you.
Mbunge?
My parting shot, there's power in numbers. Whether ni kwa ground ama hata ni social media. So this matter of employment, where they keep telling us employ yourself, but bado kuna very many restrictive hizo policies ama hata the licenses. We should keep pushing, we should keep championing for our space, and we should keep showing up. Asante.
Thank you.
For me, I think what I'll stress on is our ability to organize. We are disadvantaged in that we have numbers, but there's no coordination. Numbers mean nothing if you're not coordinated. So that numbers must be put into use by coordination. So as young people, if we are able to coordinate, most of the problems that we have, we can be able to solve them. So I'll stress on the need of coordination first. And that also there's an aspect of seeking information. We need to read what the law says for us to be able to use it to our advantage. On average, every month, I'm called to a police station for, let's say, 4 or 5 times every month. Maybe a person has been arrested arbitrarily, alikuwa anatembea akaambiwa analoita. Some fleece me ni zile ni makosa zile kidogo kidogo zaidi, loitering and etc. But if we are able to know what the law says, we're not able to be arrested arbitrarily. So I think what I'll stress ni we need to understand what the law says for us to be able to challenge rogue police officers. The other thing we need to do is to occupy these spaces. There are many spaces created. Some of them are closed, but we can forcefully occupy them. So as young people, we need to use our creative nature and our abilities to be able to occupy the spaces that we're not invited in.
Thank you.
So the spaces we're invited in, let's maximize them.
Mm.
Those who are not invited in, let's occupy them forcefully.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kamau?
Thank you. I think the identification that there is strength in numbers is not a questionable thing. But however, how we use this strength is what really matters. So I'm calling every one of us here. Let us, from our drawing board, have a direction of where we want to go. I have seen we have so many environmentalists seated with us here. I just wish we had a whole day because the discussion here could have been interesting to learn from you and also learning from us. But if you have an issue, go to each of us hails from any sub-county in Nakuru, the 11 of them. Go to the environment officer in your respective sub-county. If your environment officer doesn't help you, go to the county director. Our offices are just here at KFA roundabout, Public Works, ndio inajulikana sana. Go to the director. If the director doesn't help you, go to the chief officer. Go articulate your issues without fear and without any issue of being turned down. All those offices that I've mentioned, you don't need an appointment to go to them. You can even leave this place, and if our chief officer is there, you will find him. Those are the key people that can really help you. And if the chief officer is not in a capacity to help you, that's why we have the CECM. Therefore, I just want to make it clear that every one of us has an opportunity to silalie any issue. Manyani people, tuonane nyuma ya hema.
Asante sana. Lazima tuonane.
Thank you. My parting shot is a bit controversial. Si hapa ni mayouth wako mbele yangu. Can I tell you something? Nyinyi ndio matajiri. Najua hivyo. And do you know why you are richer than some of us? I can tell you why. The number of years you have ahead of you, that is wealth. Sijui kama tuko pamoja. The energies you people have, that is wealth. Again, most of you, if not all of you, have wealth and health. You are healthy people. Are you getting me? Take advantage of the years ahead of you. Take advantage of the God-given energy that you already have to shape your future, to make a positive change for yourself, for your county, for your ward, and for your neighbor. And can I tell you something? Information is two-way. You go for it, but it can also come your way. But do you know the easiest way? It's you going for it. Sijui kama tuko pamoja.
Yeah.
Because I as Kimemia, if I'm to come looking for you, wale tu wako kwa hii hall, unajua tutazunguka almost half an year on daily basis, dealing with one person. But you can easily get to where we are. Life does not allow a vacuum. If you don't come, the wrong person will come. If you don't go to public participation, Murevi ule anapewa ile kane jioni, atajipata kwa public participation. Whether you like it or not, a decision will be made. But most likely it will be the wrong decision. Change starts with you. Act now and not tomorrow. Sawa sawa.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Act today, not tomorrow. Sawa sawa. Those who do not know about the committees that Mr. Kamau talked about, look for that information. Go for that information. Get involved in the processes. Let your voice be heard in the process of bringing social change. Isn't it? Isn't it? Viva vijana, viva! Viva vijana, viva! Hiyo kuna dalili ya njaa kwa sababu hiyo sauti imeenda chini sana. Thank you very much, super panelists. It has been a very engaging, interactive panel discussion. Thank you for those who are watching us on YouTube. Be sure to share this stream so that
many more young people can be able to hear and can be able to be challenged that power is in their hands to bring about the change that they want to see. So it's all about being involved, amplifying your own voice. Sikika, Jumuika Sikika Mtaani. Thank you very much. A round of applause for my panelists as we leave the stage.
Wow, a round of applause to the panel and the moderator and yourselves for being amazing. That was impactful. Niulize, kwani mbunge hakusema kitu yote ya mumuulizi swali wewe bwana? Ati? Nilisikia kuna mtu alikuwa amekula moto pale. So right about now, as Ian, we are about to have a quiz and I have so much gifts because mmekuwa amazing. Hata nina feel kama nitapea kila mtu. Unacheki hii t-shirt ile inakaa legendary. Kata sio Forum Steve. Pigeni Forum Steve makofi. Ishara iongezeke. Wape makofi kabisa. Thank you. So as Ian prepares to come through for the quiz, ladies and gentlemen, Noel has a 2-minute piece as Ian is setting up. Ngoja usikuje kwanza, acha ni kuintroduce vile inafaa. Ako na exam and ameforfeit exam at 2 ndio perform alafu akimbie. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Noel.
Yeah. Asante Weba, lakini I'm not Noel. I'm timelines. Yeah, I'm timelines and I put the time in lines. So give me the time, I give you the lines, yeah? So let me give you a breakfast. Japo nje nimeona mna smile sana mkipewa ngwashe. Sasa ndio nimejua hata leaders wetu sio watu wenye wanatupima peke yake. Nimerealize hata mayai chini ya hiyo shell yake inakuanga imeficha white. Yeah, on the strings ni sulfur. Yeah. Make sure nimekuja despite kukuwa na mtihani. Juu ningetuma vidam ningesema ni nudes cause mimi wa stima and I'm naked. So ningewashock. And just like employees, me zile lines uziandika nikizifuta. But nikifika kwa stage they are like bullets and I must make sure they are fired. Lord, I know I'm a beggar. But please naomba unibebe on your shoulders. Cause nothing is as it seems. Juu hata pesa ni sabuni ya roho, but kuna wenye wako nazo na bado roho zao ni chafu. Nimerepent, I'm in the light. Juu hata story ya kubani niliweka kando, nipige wax. Hali ni mbaya. Juu hata baba anatunyoa ati vile gava tuwezi isuka. Hali ni mbaya. Nashangaa mbona umbu zinanikula daily and my life is like doom. Lord, I pray, I play yo mlango wa kuteremsha pansi kwa shati. I pray yo tabia kuitana dogi kwa cat. Naomba hata ule jamaa Muslim hata akiharibu hewa kwa fat. Naomba hata wale wenye wako kwa streets na hawana manyumba wapate flat. Hata ule jamaa mwenye ako na sura paso napate mtoko flat. Wanasema ngati pesa inaua na yet God alisema ati nobody is holier than thou. Ama ndo maana performance inaweza kuwa outstanding but shughuli yako unaifanyia kwa hao. If I go to seek God kwa church, bado pastor atanijudge. Nashangaa mbona wananionea na niko na macho. Wana continue kunionea hata wakiniona nikikatia dem ako na high heels wanasema nataka kumuomba hashu. Yeah, and let me talk about our leaders. Despite kukosa kusoma chemistry, bado I can proudly say that sisi ndo solution. Na hatutaki watu wenye wanatudanganya ati watatupanga, wakifika huko mbele wanatucut off. Hatutaki watu wanatudanganya ati watasecure jobs, yetu huko ndani wamejaza ghost workers. Tunataka watu watatu empower tufanye hata kama ni agriculture, juu hata hizo white collar jobs zishachafuka. Hali ni mbaya design ati unaweza lala njaa na yetu kona nywele dengu. Hali ni mbaya na shangamona umbu zinanikula daily and my life is like doom. Na struggle kufeed watoto daily despite having a lot on my plate. Hata wale mayouth wenye walipata ball at an early age na wananyonyesha, wote wako na depression because apparently they have a lot in their chest. Kila siku tunahama, juu landlord Costa yako kwa mlango anagonga. Ajui tumelala njaa na watoto wetu wanakula kucha. While you are trying so hard to make sure that we nail it. Mnaniuliza mbona nimechange, but amjui life haina balance. Wasupa wetu walituacha juu hatuwezi provide pesa ya unga na maji, hata wakumbuki siku walikuwa natukunywa. Na juu ya malnutrition hatujaunga. Hata wasitupee pesa ya maharagwe, tunataka peace. Tunataka job. Tunataka job. Hata asikuje na zile ngamia zake. Je, anaweza elewa vile iko kukaa kwa streets? Where even I'm not doing poetry, I'm doing pottery because I'm probably cooking something. Tunataka job. Hata asikumbuke kuhusu wale watoto wake wenye walidedi, akuje okoe wangu before dedi. Juu kusema ukweli hapa nje tunapitia. Ati mifuko zetu zimeraruka, so hata makanga nadhani yanga ati wewe ni wazimu ukimwambia ulitupa mbao. Employers to be leaders, you need to put yourself kwa the shoes of David and Saul. You coordinate your mind, your body and your inner soul. In that way utaelewa. Yeah, they call me timelines and I put the timelines. So give me the time, I give you the lines. Yeah.
Hey, give it up for timelines. Timelines. Nice. Tunakupata wapi social media? Na umesikia unaenda exam. Unafanya nini? Maybe your social media handles, na wanaweza kupata wapi?
Okay, currently I'm a student at Mount Kenya University pursuing Bachelor's of Education Science. Unaweza nipata social media zote, YouTube Timelines Official, IG timelines.i.m.e.l.i.n.es, TikTok unaweza nipata na Timelines Poetry. And I want to talk to director. Umesema una empower youth. Here youth tunapeanga youth wetu platform each and every month. In a platform yenye inaitwa Poetry After Lunch. Tunapeanga youth wa Nakuru a platform where we audition and it's free. Lakini right now ni kama hiyo platform inaenda ikiisha because apparently we lack partnerships and investors, na we try to provide lunch. Kwa hivyo tuna pesa at least zenye tunakotanga tunatumianga hapo kwa lunch sana. Hata hatuwezi lipa msanii. Imagine unapea msanii fare ya 100 na ameishi rehearsals for that whole month. So this platform at least ni ya kusaidia youth. So if there is a way yenye unaweza tusaidia each and every month ili ku keep the program sustaining, I would really appreciate. Thank you so much. I'm the program's manager. Thank you.
Hey, give it for timeline. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Nice. All the best kwa mtihani usitumie mwa Kenya. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, right about now, I want you to give it up for Ian Gwagi, all the way from Creative Spills. He's the executive director of Creative Spills, the founder of Slum Africa and the Women You Should Know. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ian in the building. Nice. Ian amesema tuendelee sawa. Nilikuwa na message kwa director kuhusu Youth Week, lakini tutaonana kando. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Nakuru Players Theatre, another amazing poet. Give it up for Chotara ndani ya nyumba.
Check.
it up for Chotara once more.
So rumors hazinanga adabu, zinaweza kupata from anywhere. Juzi mimi zilinipata, so rumors hazinanga adabu, zinaweza kupata from anywhere. Juu mimi zilinipata kwa nyumba immediately after kutoka kwa bafu nikivaa underwear. Kupitia kwa dirisha nilisikia sauti ya mama wa ploti kwa mfereji wakiongelea, sauti ya mama mwenzao mwenye alichapwa na bwana yake juu ya kulamba askari hadi akajikojolea. So rumors zinaweza kuwa good or bad. Rumors zinaweza kuwa na feelings whether happy or sad. Rumors zinaweza kuhusu wewe, your friends, your family, especially your mom and dad. Ama rumors zinaweza kuhusu a politician, ama pastor, ama mgonjwa kwa hospital ward. So speaking of a pastor, rumors zinaweza kuwa verifying hata kuliko movie za horror. Rumors zinaweza kuwa terrifying hata kuliko incident ya kifo cha Kahola. Rumors zinaweza kuwa fantastic on the other hand, zikuacha ukitest the feeling kama mtu amekunywa Coca-Cola. Na rumors zinaweza fanya mtu akona pesa asote, na mtu amesota behave ni kama ameshika dola. Rumors zinaweza fanya kwa midomo ya watu kuwe maabusu. So ukisikia rumors kunihusu, wewe waambie mimi yule boy alikataa kufanya kazi kwa NTV ndio nyinyi kaa Citizen mnipashe, waambie mimi ile steam na kuanga imezimwa kwa socket, I'm waiting for the right person akuja niwashe, waambie the reason why nimeparara ni nilikosa kiboko, otherwise ningepiga luku. Waambie mimi yule mwanafunzi alinyoa kipara time exam akapita cut ndio acha walimu wote kwa staff na mjishuku, waambie mimi kuacha poetry ni kama kuconvince Mluya akule chapo Christmas na ni season ya kuchinja kuku. Waambie utamia kuishi ghetto ni kuruka mtaro. Waambie utamia masomo ni kutoroka daru. Waambie utamia kusoma high school ni kutolipa karo. Waambie siri ya kushiba haraka ni kukula njaro. Waambie utamia githeri ni kuikula ikiwa moto. Waambie utamia kuwa mtu mzima ni kufanya toto. Waambie utamia mjengo ni kubeba kokoto. Waambie utamia mapenzi ni kupeana joto. Waambie hata nikiacha acting bado nitazidi kuact weird. Waambie hata nisomea ndevu bado kwa poetry ni mambo weird. Waambie hata wazime stima nikiwa stage bado ndawapea an electrifying performance. So ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Chotara the Poet, or you can call me the Traveler, because I'm always on a journey to success. So hii next piece, every time nashika mic lazima ni address our leaders, because our leaders wanatupeaga fake promises, empty promises. It's about time for change.
Check. Usiwape yote tena sana. Chotara atarudi after 2T ameperform, sawa? Hiyo design. Atarudi, msiniangalie hivyo. All the ladies in the house say oh.
Before niende, I believe Mungu anasaidia
kila wakati. Give it up for Chotara.
Good afternoon. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Naitwa Ian. We're gonna have fun. So these are gonna be questions from random things, like very random things, but they are related to life here. Nikianguka hapa hivi ni sawa tu. Hi. Niko na very brief instructions. The first thing that I want to find out is, mnaweza kuwa na simu ambayo iko na internet. So if you do not have one, look for 2 other people so you can make a group of 3. And then you get a device that has internet and that is fast. Tunaweza changamka, sawa? So groups of 3, get a device that is fast, and then I give you the next instruction. You don't have to move. Mnaweza kuwa mmekaa na yeye hapo. Lakini kama unajua msem sharp hapa hivi na unataka ukae karibu na yeye, unaweza songa. Aya, 1 minute. 1 minute. Mkiwa ready. If you're ready, say aye. Okay, how many groups are already formed by show of hands? 1. Okay. Okay. Wangapi bado hawajapata group hapa? Yes. Okay, okay, 30 seconds to find your group, and then I give you the second instruction. Oh, so I've noticed wengine washachangamka. So generally, if you already have a group, you go to ahaslides.com on your browser, or you can scan that code to join. So I should be able to see your groups here. Naona kuna washaingia, kuna chief hapa. Yeah, so you can do that. If you need help, you can raise your hand and then we find someone to come help. Whoever is moving around, you know what to do. Yes. Yes? Oh, I am being requested that the lights, these lights are causing some problems, visual problems. No, like you can dim them. Yeah. Okay. Can you see? Can you see the screen? Okay, so for those of the members of the audience who might not be able to hear the instructions, you should be able to read the instructions from your phone. So it will be that easy. And for the rest of us, probably those who cannot be able to see the screen, I will read the questions and then we can go ahead and answer. So you will have a member in your group who can be able to see and they will help answer. So, all right, we have so many groups, 24 groups so far. 24 groups. Which group is having difficulty joining? Yes? Oeba can help, he's right there. Any other person with difficulties? Yes, there's a hand there. So I can see Moaz Senior. Huyu ni kama ameoni group. Kuna Kwati, John, Chief, Doreen, Nyabuka. Hiyo ni yake peke yake. Fred Designer. Kuna Fred mwingine, so sijui kama kuna device mbili. I've seen Liz, Mike. Come up with creative group names. If you get a creative group name, you will get something. Eh. Okay. Hii imeenda. Kuna Gods of Fire, Rachel Njoroge. Yeah, you're doing well. Mtaani, nice. Some days. Tribe of Wakanda. Hiyo tunajua ni nani. Okay, 26 groups so far. Any others? Any other person who needs help? Yes, yes. Oeba, you can. There's like people on that side who need some help. Just raise your hand where you are, and someone will come to you. Okay. Oh, you don't need to log in. You can just put your team name and then you join. Yeah, so 27. Any other people having difficulties? Okay. Okay, the last instruction, I think where people are having problems is joining this particular one. So ahaslides.com/JSM, which is Jumuika Sikika Mtaani. So if you put that, you should be able to access the group. I can see we have 44 groups so far. So are we ready? We're ready? Okay. Bunge. So which Nordic country was the first to establish a cabinet with equal number of men and women? Is it Denmark, Norway? It's supposed to be Sweden or Iceland. So your points will be awarded to how fast you are able to answer the questions and also whether you get the right question. So the time's up. And the correct answer is Sweden. We have 14 teams have been able to get that correct. Let's look at the leaderboard. Next. All right. Wui. Yeah. In first position, we have Wui, Menda, and then followed by Gods of Fire. You can see that they have the same number of points, 96 points. And then in third place, we have Gods of Fire. Fourth place, the best, XYZ, and then the rest. It is very easy to get on this leaderboard. You just need to answer the questions fast. Next question. Binyavanga Wainaina once included in Time magazine's most influential people in the world for his writing and activism. Won which award in 2002? Was it the Nobel Prize in Literature? Was it the Pulitzer Prize? Was it the Booker Prize or the Kane Prize for African Writing? And your time is up. 16 teams got it correct. It is indeed the Kane Prize for African Writing. Yeah. So look at the leaderboard. Menda. Menda in first place. Then we have Liz. Then we have Nax. And then Marege Nama. Maebe. Then JKX. So again, you can get here very fast by answering your questions fast. Next question, question 3. The Internet's Own Boy is a biographical documentary exploring the life and work of which programming prodigy and information activist? Is it Julian Assange, Aaron Schwartz, or Edward Snowden? In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Correct answer was Aaron Schwartz. You guys are having fun, yeah. Let's look at the leaderboard. Hey, Liz is rocking the longest streak, yeah? Imeenda in second place, Marege na Maebe. Fred Designer coming in strong in fourth place. Yeah. Next question. The River and the Source and I Swear by Apollo are books of unparalleled vision, endurance, and hope, especially for women. By which author? Is it Okot, Bitek, Margaret Ogola, Grace Ogot, or Asenath Bol Odaga? In 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Correct answer is Margaret Ogola. Let's look at the leaderboard. Hey, he may end up back in first place. Marege na Maebe, Fred Designer. We have some idiots in fourth. All right. We can go to the next question. Who played the role of Angelina, Sarafina's mother, in the 1992 hit apartheid film Sarafina? Is it Miriam Makeba, Leleti Kumalo, Whoopi Goldberg, or Somizi Longo? I know some of us are not old enough to know the movie, but in 3, 2, 1, and time is up. Correct answer was Miriam Makeba. Whoopi Goldberg was the teacher. Which name is given to the system of government where power is divided between the states and the federal government? Is it the federal system, the legislative government, United Nations, or representative government? Hakuna bottom up. Time's up. The correct answer is the federal system. Yeah, let's look at the leaderboard. Yes. Idiots. Okay, we have whatever that is in first position, and then Menda in second, Haile Selassie in third, then idiots in fourth. Okay. Gitch and the guys. Okay, question 7. So which country holds the largest single-day election in the world? Is it India, Indonesia, Brazil, or the USA? Single-day election. Single day election. The correct answer is Indonesia. And we have Haile Selassie, Nax, Gitch, Nitram, and then he Menda in 4th. Next question. Huda Sharawi, a feminist leader and human rights advocate, fought for equality and participated in the nationalist struggle for which African country? Is it Algeria, Ghana, Sudan, or Egypt? In 1. Time's up, and the correct answer is Egypt. Thank you very much. I think we should keep going because lunch is waiting. Okay, Nax, Himenda, then Haile Selassie. Yeah, guys are doing well. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't read this one out. What is the name of this Russian? You skipped the slide with the picture. The picture was there for like a blink and people got that right, so I don't know. Anyway, dead giveaway. So Nax, Himenda, Gitch, Marege na Maebe, 10. Emitithal Mahmoud is a world champion slam poet and activist who uses her talents to highlight the experience of which marginalized group? Is it transsexual individuals, people with disabilities, refugees, or people living with HIV? What is it? She's a poet from Sudan. Guys are really having fun, yeah? Let's look at the leaderboard. Gitch back in first, Himenda in second. Okay. All right. Which Grammy Award-winning singer who sings in a style of music called Morna is known for appearing on stage barefoot in support of the homeless? Is it Kaseria Ivora, Sona Jobate, Dobe Nahore, or Angelique Kijo? Wasanii mko hapa? Tumeongea mambo ya studio, tujue wasanii. The correct answer is Sarah Ivora. Kuna watu wamepata. All right, let's look at the leaderboard. Nax in first place, Gitch, Nitram in second, Himenda in third, Haile Selassie in fourth. Next question, question 12 of 19. The United Nations headquarters, head offices are in which major country? Or city rather, is it London, Paris, New York, or Montreal? Yes. Kila mtu apate. In 3, 2, 1, and the correct answer is New York. Let's look at the leaderboard. Nax still in first place, Gitch in second, Himenda, Haile Selassie. It stays the same. All right, next. So Mnyanzi wa Menza, aka Mekatilili wa Menza, or Mekatilili, was a Kenyan independence activist who led which people against the colonial administration? Was it the Wanga people, the Giriama people, the Nandi people, or the Mijikenda? Know our history. And time's up. Correct answer is correct. Nax still in first position. Ginch. XYZ up to third, and then he Higenda. Correct. Next. Which festival in West Africa is an annual courtship ritual competition where young men dress up and dance with hopes of being picked by women? Najua kuna wengine wanaweza penda. So is it the Gurewol Festival, is it the Fulani Festival, or the Wodabe Fula Festival? And the correct answer is the Gurewol Festival. The leaderboard stays the same. Interesting. Next question. What is it called when no one or everyone rules? Really? Is it a democracy, oligarchy, theocracy, or anarchy? Please do not shout your answers. We know you are smart. Just express yourself on your device and we will appreciate. Correct answer is anarchy. Nax still in first place with 1,694 points. Then Gitch in second place. Himenda in third. Haile Selassie in fourth. XYZ in fifth. Next question, please. Remember, the 5th of November is a popular quote from which film with a freedom fighter using radical tactics to fight oppression? Is it Beasts of No Nation? Is it The Birth of a Nation? Is it V for Vendetta? Or is it Captive State? Express yourself as articulately as you can on your device so that we can see the correct answer is V for Vendetta. Great. The leaderboard. Nax still in first place, though they did not get this correct. Gint also didn't get it correct. Marege na Maebe coming in, and then he Imenda. Next question. Which of the following types of poets is not, which of the following poets is not from Nakuru? Is it Mbunge, Nyash, Teardrops, none of the above? Please don't shout your answers. You will be surprised. What happened? Imehang. Kwa nini imehang? Network. Server imekataa. And there's answers though. We're seeing points. Okay, next question. Kenya Revenue Authority's James Gavi Mburu resigned from this post and was replaced by Rispa Simiyu. What position did he hold? Okay. Was it Commissioner General? Was it Customs Officer? Was it Tax Collector or Board Chair? Yes. Time's up. Correct answer is Commissioner General. Oh, Nax Oh, Haile Selassie in first place. Team Enda in second place. Nax didn't get it. Marega and Amaebe didn't get it. Yes, next question. The last question. It's going to be easy. The United Nations agency named Nakuru as the cleanest town in East Africa in which year? Was it 2010, 2011, 2022, or 2023? Na bado ni safi. And the correct answer is 2011. Okay. And that marks the end of our quiz. So let us find out who is our winner. Okay. And Haile Selassie is the winner. Okay, let's get one person to express your sentiments on your behalf. Okay, Oeba, you can come. Fanya tu hiyo kazi.
Up the marks. The t-shirts will be presented by Abdul.
Saseni, I think hapa kwa namba 3 hapa ndio Jenny. Ingine wamerudi.
A round of applause for Nax, representing Nakuru County. So, each
Number 2, number 4 technically. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Gitch and Mitram. This is the quote presented by Winnie. Give it up for Winnie. Give it up for her. Give it up for her. She comes.
a round of applause for them.
Ni kama nataka tu na mbona tu wapewe. Hii imeenda tena. Hii imerudi. Ladies and gentlemen, the third. Hii imeenda ya blue. Give it up for them. Ai. Inaonekana Chebukati amefanya ile kitu. Marege and Maebe. Give it up for them. Hey. It is presented na Titans. Give it up for Titans as it comes. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Nani Marege na nani ni Maebe? Kore mziki ndo Maebe. XYZ. So, give it up for XYZ. Hey, give it up for them. Give it up for them. Ati? This is the call represented na Biko. Give it up for Biko as he comes. Mko wangapi? Mko wanne. Hey, kesi imekuwa ngumu. Tuwape babajeji wako ini ama tupe list? Ati 3 idiots. Give it up for them. Give it up for them. Asante. Yes? Tupe Boychan. Ona Abdul hapo, huyo ndio kiongozi atakupea. Huyo Muhande. The last one. Liz. Give it up for Liz. Mary Sirengo will be presenting Akonje. Liz, please. Give it up for Liz. Give it up for Liz. Give it up for Liz. Alafu Tuti, get ready.
Wow. We want to appreciate all of you for participating in this particular exercise. I'm hoping you had fun. We're going to do this again some other time. Thank you very much. Just clap for yourselves for having participated. And also a little announcement. We have had very beautiful conversations on the environment here, but it so happens that some of us have bottles, plastic bottles, right next to you. So if you have a plastic bottle that you've used and it's empty, please just carry it with you, and then you can put it in the waste bin outside at the end of this. Thank you very much.
You've had fun, Cindy, and it's getting better. So we have like 2 performances and vote of thanks kidogo pale. We have like 2-3 activities, and then 20 lunch flani amazing. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, arudi pale tukuintroduce vizuri. Kuja the guy on the keys. Who is on the keys? Sawa. Tuko sawa. Hey, shout out to Tribe of Wakanda has been tweeting. Shout out, nimeona tweets kibao. Karuga has been tweeting. Shout out to you all. you can still keep the conversation ongoing online on Twitter. People are active. So ladies and gentlemen, straight away from Nakuru, proud Nax Vega. Nakuru is the home of arts. I hope Forum CV is keenly watching. Nakuru is the home of arts. Ladies and gentlemen, one time, two time, three time. Give it up for TT. Give it up for him.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, so habari zenu mara ya pili. Mimi naitwa Tuti. I am a singer-songwriter. I enjoy playing music. I love playing music. We're going to have a set for you guys. On my left, kuna Brayo. Funny thing, Brayo nimemjua jana. So tulikuwa tuna vibe na the guy on my right, Oroba. And Brayo came akacheza tukasema, this guy is good. So Brayo came to help us with the set. Yeah, my first song, inaitwa Uko Wapi, by the beautiful Maya Lepuliko. I love the song. It talks about a girl who is trying to get home to her mother. And go. Nilisikia mlipuko wa wimbi na uhai ulirejea barabarani, mvua ya kioo ilinyesha ikakusomba. Niliusikia mlipuko wa wimbi na uhai ulirejea barabarani, mvua ya kioo ilinyesha ikakusomba. umepotea wapi? Mama, uko wapi? Rudi kwangu, uko wapi? Mama, 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 mama. Mama, 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 mama. Rudi kwangu, uko wapi? So for the next song, amipata itakuja baadaye, si ndio? So for the next song, I feel like everything in this, above this ground, inakuwa connected to love in one way or the other, si ndio? Like ukiweka kijana hapa umuulize, what do you think of the governance in our country? And then umuulize the other question, what happened between you and your ex? You'll summarize the answers as there was a point of betrayal at some point, si ndio? True? Kulikuwa na betrayal at some point. Tulisema hapa ni kudiscuss, tuna discuss, si ndio? So utakuja kujua there was a point of which one of the partners betray the other, si ndio? Which is what happened so that's vile kunaenda sio sawa, hapa sio sawa, shida ni penzi, sikuona sio sawa, najiona chizi na siwezi
kuwaza shida migeni mpenzi, sikujana nawe siweza, najiona chizi amisiezi natana tafuta baby, I belong for tafuta baby, you feel so good, you're not tafuta baby, I belong for tafuta baby. Jumuika Sikika Mtaani, she's so beautiful, anafanya mimi sana. Hey mama, anafanya nikashika kichwa mzo, she's so beautiful, anafanya mimi sana. Hey mama, anafanya nikashika kichwa mzo, she's so beautiful, anafanya mimi sana. Hey mama, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Yele mama, yele mama, yele mama, yele mama, unaraya nishakati yele mama, yele mama, yele mama, yele mama.
Asante sana. Now to the order of business. The last song nafanya, this is our last piece, inaitwa Lying in Sweet. I try to fit myself kwa viatu za a struggling citizen. The pain yenye na feel in this space yenye tuko sahi, the high cost of living, and this is what I came up with. Yeah. Who's on the other side? From taxation, bila kazi, one nation, bila maji,
Oh, love, sweet love. I can't handle vacation. That's why kunabo. Wanasema watatu better, yeah. But the line ain't sweet. Yeah, kunabo. Wanasema watatu better, yeah. But the line ain't sweet. Tukona dona boy, lakini kuna vishi boy, kama kijali boy, tunasema vila boy, ati yako na matata, wala keep the keys, na vijana barobaro, wako hizi stanky, wakingoja mtaani, ikiletwa kazi, hawalipi on time, ukipiga party, unalala ndani. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling happy? Who's on the other side? From taxation, bila kazi, foundation, bila oh love, sweet love. At the end of vacation, that's why kunabo. Ati kunabo. You wanna say about the better, but the line is sweet. Yeah, kunabo. You wanna say what to do better, but the line is sweet. Yeah, kunabo. You wanna say what to do better, but the line is sweet. Yeah, kunabo.
Are you ready when? Na bado piga kitu, tufanye kitu pamoja, hiyo design. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been real. Wenye wako nje tafadhali ingieni ndani tumalize.
Sawa, tufanye kitu, twende.
Kitu amazing.
Kitu amazing. Na wili. Ndio.
Give it up for Tutu. This guy is madly talented.
Inaitisha mbili, sijacheza naonyesha mimi, wanini chagu wangu, vivyo choche, simama yangu yalishoa, sichana mizuri yanapika chapati zinasimama. Kijana angalia juu, don't feel the same way. Usifananishwe na vile uko na wingi kila saa. Switch up the flow, make I do something for you. Mimi chini za juu, mziki Kitamu heli like the juice in a single way. Pole pole situpande. Pole pole situpande. Nipata hanipa siwatu baadhi uko mbele situpande hivi. Wewe unataka
The chorus once more. Hello. Hello. Hello, nakupata. Changamoto ni nyingi huku kwetu, lakini sitaacha hadi vizazi waseme siku moja paliishi ya Sudi Nacha. Shida tofauti, tajiri na mtoto na maskini amebarikiwa na mapacha, na iliniuma kusikia Magu Chuma ametuacha. Viongozi wetu ni maluza aluminium, si baada ya kukopa wanasikia. Huku kwetu ni life ni real. Vile vitu zote nyinyi mnasikia, si tumeona. So this goes out to all the fathers. Out to boys our junior dads, they are our brothers. Out to a government that doesn't care after elections, we are now treating others. This goes out to keep it lit, because only a rising smoke that gathers. Out to those people who take less, hadi wanafanya zile rolling stone most haziwezi gather. Out to a nation that talks big, lakini kifika kwa implementation it stammers. Jesus na the 12 disciples walikuwa fishers of men, lakini vile pastors wana insist on kupanda mbegu utadhani walikuwa farmers. This goes out to KEBS. Hawaangalii quality of products apart from taste ya food. Dona sasa no soap ladders. Maturity ni kuzoea wakibite line zako. Wanaweza chukua line but save creativity yako. Anaweza kunyang'anya mchumba but si desire ya kupenda kwa hati yako. Maturity ni kukubali anayekushinda kihela sometimes akule kwa pili yako. Maturity si kuongelesha wazae mbaya in their own house boss, hata kama umebreak voice, hiyo si base yako. Maturity ni kusahau age na kukumbuka jinako. Maturity ni kutambua si kila light skin ni slay queen na the only G kwa weusi ni jinako. Maturity ni kuzoea kujisemea no. Juu sipo kama wito ni hiyo sila yako.
So tubaki tu hapo. So ndani open line, ndio. Alafu mnanirudishia. Sawa? Tuko hapa leo. Tuko players, ndio. Na sisi sio manini?
Maplayer.
Very nice. Tuko fora.
Si.
Wasichana wengi sio wazuri. Wengine wanakuwa gamdogo wa hivyo. Tuende na ingine. Niko hapa kwetu nasikia poa, niko home. Na kuoga self driven. Bado sija update driving license yangu. Napenda watu wakiishi kwa amani. Sio kila saa kufikiria amani. Kwenye freestyle usijali venye naipanga. Na kuoga inazoni kila stage. Sinanga pesa ya kwenda na matatu. Nani?
Kabisa.
Situpande. Situpande. Ukoje situpande. Situpande. Situpande.
Nimeona ukiangalia ule sana. Najua upendi vibes za magari, but where are you parking? Ile namba ulinipea juzi ni kama iko na holiday. Trust me, it's not working. Na vile una queen on your own wall, can I be your king? Wachana nao wengine, apart from kupika, cooking, wanajua ni stalking. Nikamuuliza, can I have your number? You know what she told me?
What did she tell you?
Have you lost yours?
Lakini
mimi natafuta dem ameweza kama Manchester United.
Aya, wongo.
Mwenye ashiki ball, you feel me? Mwenye ashiki ball. So thank you so much for coming out today. You all are such a blessing. It has been such an honor. Jemo niambia niwaambie kitu. Ingia pale YouTube. Washa data. Enda pale YouTube. I have a new video yenye inaongelea like kila kitu yenye leo tulikuwa tunaongelea hapa. Muna alisema about citizen and roots of all evil. Hiyo video kwa YouTube. Inaitwa Dear Citizen. Usitoke hapa kama hujaona Dear Citizen, uione. Thank you. God bless you. Mbarikiwe. You've been amazing. You've been great. God bless you. So right about now. Kumbuka nayo. 20 seconds peke yake. Ndio wale wa watch kwa online. 20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Titus akikuja kutupea vote of thanks. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Baadhi ya mambo tunazungumza ni biashara yenu ya miraa. Asante Piko. Habari yenu, mko aje? Najua njaa imeingia, lakini si shughuli lazima tumalize. So mimi nimepewa kazi rahisi ya kufanya wale watu ambao wanakuwa na suti kama vile director alisema hapa, ku declare this function officially closed. Na si ndio hiyo, tutoke tuende. But before I do that, I think I really want to appreciate a number of people who have made this a success. And on behalf of our regional manager who would have loved to be with us in this function, ambaye anatupatia direction ndio tuweze kupanga vitu kama hizi. Passed our regards at the beginning by Mary, but also the program manager responsible for wajibu wetu, the program that is responsible for this program, who is also not with us today. Hao ndio wanatusaidia kupata direction. I want to call on stage the team that has been organizing Jumuika Sikika Mtaani. And ni wangapi wana feel hiyo Jumuika Sikika? As they come on stage. Jumuika Sikika, si ni kitu unaifeel? Si ndio? Because it has been a process of I remember we voted, consult watu, even our partners, on what is the best name. And I think the product, including the design led by Abdul, is something that I believe we can all be proud of. Si ndio? Si jia hiyo tuwapigie makofi. I know we have some partners who are also part of organizing this. We know Josephine from Drick, who is outside. Tumpigie makofi in absentia. Responsible for mobilizing the team from Naivasha. Shiko from Tribeless Youth and her team pia hao walitusaidia kuorganize the event, to appreciate. Twaweza Communications is also our partner. Do we have someone from Twaweza in the team? Unfortunately not, but we appreciate the support. Creative Spills, Ian, the amazing guy mwenye ametupatia the quiz that imetu-energize. So I'll give the team one thing you are taking away from this one. Name and one thing you are taking away, please.
Hapo mtaka kwa mata titles. Good imekuwa evening. So naitwa Abdul Latif Abdul. One thing I'm taking away from this is that vijana lazima tuchangamke ndo tuweze kujumuika tusikiki. Asanteni.
Mimi niliongea asubuhi maneno mengi. Mimi naitwa Mary Sirengo. Sina neno. Sina maoni. I'm very emotional.
Habari zenu. Naitwa Winfred Nkava. What I'm taking away from this forum is there's power of art, especially in Nakuru. There's a lot of art, and I really felt it, and I really am inspired by what the artists in this place are doing. So kudos to the team. Thank you.
Habari zenu. Kwa majina ni Steve Biko. Nimefurahia kuwa nanyi leo. What I take away from this session is Nakuru is a melting point of energies, youth vibrance. Nimeona zile discussion nimekuwa nazo pamoja na duty bearers wetu, and they've been able to be open and to deliberate on the issues raised. So keep it up. Go for the information that you need.
Hi guys. My name is Rachel Juma. What I'm taking home today is that there's power in youth. I love the fact that the Jumuika Sikika Mtaani Rift Valley, precisely Nakuru, has brought a lot of youth together. Many a times events are held by other organizations, but youths don't turn up. But I love it in Nakuru. So awesome.
Hi everyone. I'm Elizabeth Mochitu. I'm happy to be here. And one of my takeaways, I'm encouraged by being part of this conversation here and seeing you speak up on the people who had won Mukajua walikuwa America. At least I see these are people who know how to voice their complaints, and they will not allow any injustices to happen. So thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Gladys Maina. My key takeaway from this session is that it's our time as youth to lobby, to advocate for everything that we want. And I'm glad that Nakuru is taking the center stage of that.
Jambo. Tunashukuru kwa kukuja kwenu. Of course, your turnout is good. Besides this forum, let's take the discussion to the next level. Tunaendelea in our own spaces, the energy that we have today. Tupeleke huko mashinani. Let's talk. Asante.
Good afternoon. My name is Dan Canodero. Thanks so much for coming to this event. I was actually moved by the great message from the arts and performances. Thank you so much.
There are people who are not here. Gloria, who has been helping us with notes. Na Sila, ambaye Haile Selassie. We didn't even know that he had another name. So sasa tumepata nickname. But I just want you to observe, I think I am easily the oldest person here. So we can debate about that. But I think I'm the oldest person. So we also have a very youthful team that is driving this. And the reason I asked each one of them to say something is because when we come out of these events, then we go back to program. Na tunaenda kutengeneza program from the learnings that we are getting from here. And each one of them has a role that they are playing. Kuna watu is the finance person. After this, service providers will be sorted. So Please help me in giving them a round of applause for the job that they have done. Ama ijaenda poa? Siko poa? Thank you so much. I'll ask them to take a seat. And before I do the closing remarks and the vote of thanks, which partly Benjamin amenisaidia, I want to respond to 2 questions because we are also a very responsible organization. We try as much as possible to listen. And there's a lady, unfortunately, she has left, Mwenyali, to correct na hijab. And I want to say, again, as youth, we need to challenge ourselves that part of responsibility is also asking and following up on the issues. She asked about gender and inclusion in the panel. I think we made our effort to do that together with our partners, but it's something that we can certainly do better in ensuring that the panel is inclusive. We have made the effort. I think previously we did not have translation for persons with disability. So it's something we learned and we are improving on that. And I think for the planning, we can do better next time in having an inclusive team. So simtupigie makofi angalau tumemake one step. The other question was what we are doing on employment and creativity. And I want to proudly mention that through the county government of Nakuru, in one of the programs, because Forum Sieve works through programs. And one of the programs that is supporting this work is Wajibu Wetu, Jumuika Sikika. But we also have another program called Public-Private Development Partnerships. I think mmeona bana iko hapo nje. And it's through that platform where we are working together with the International Labour Organization, the county government of Nakuru, and the studio, some of the machines, the sewing machines that we are talking about are courtesy of that program through the partnership. So we are cognizant of the issues of employment. And in the green space, we also recognize the statistics that with the ongoing conversation on climate change, there are about 18 million jobs that have been projected that zitakuwa kwa the green space. And we are working with the Department of Environment to see how can we engage these conversations. Si pia hiyo tumejaribu. Si mtupigie makofi tafadhali. Then I want to appreciate our panelists, both from the county government. A lot of the time, this conversation is incomplete when we do not have the duty bearers and the rights holders. Because when we rights holders convene, tunaongea, alafu tunatoka hapo si sorry bas. Because we have no one to address our issues too. But duty bearers have honored our invite to be in that conversation. Na si wame respond to the issues quite elaborately. Sindio? I think Nakuru is one of the most progressive counties from where I sit in terms of championing these conversations. And we hope that the things that have been mentioned here, you can be able to follow up. I'd also like to appreciate the artists. Certainly, we believe that what you are producing or what you are providing in this platform, your sweat contribution is hard. It takes a lot of time to develop those pieces. Mnakuja, and even though we are not able to pay, we reimburse you maybe transport or something, but we really, really appreciate you taking time to be here with us. So for the artists, tuwapatie hiyo. To our service providers as well, I think it would not have been possible. Kama tungekunywa chai, sahi tungekuwa njaa zaidi. Na tuko na matumaini tutapata lunch. So, yeah. Tulikuwa na tuti. Angetusort. Siku anajua pia yeye ni bazuu, anaweza tusort na hiyo kitu. So that's good. Tuti, tutakuona after this next time when utatusort. And lastly, this conversation would not have been possible without your participation. So I want you to quickly, to your left, I think, left or right, ule mtu amekaa karibu na yeye, umpat tu baki yake. Appreciate, si ndio? Na yeye ukimpati anasema si ndio? Thank you so much for coming and making these conversations very engaging. I want to challenge you, the gentleman at the back, pale nyuma. I want to challenge each one of us that this conversation does not end here. Sawa sawa? Yeah? This conversation has to move further. Hizo vitu tumesema the environment. I'm sure Steve Biko, Benja, when we hopefully come back next year, we want to hear good stories. Sindio? Director, we want to hear that 20 more pieces have been recorded. And lastly, because it was part of my job description, I will say one thing before I say the most important thing for this function. I was preparing, unajua ukipewa nafasi uongeleshe watu karibu ya 200. Si pia wewe unajipanga kidogo. Si kwanza nipigieni makofi. Hata mimi sijaji appreciate. But I want to read a quote from somebody called Lao Tzu. Lao, mimi na ule moderator alimalizia hapa, tutaenda hospitali after this. Hizo publicists. Lao Tzu anasema, unless we change the direction, we are likely to end up in the same place we are. Sawa sawa. Unless we change our direction. So clearly, out of this space, enda ujiite kama mkutanano. Ujiulize, what can I do? Is it going to the next public participation forum? And I also want to challenge maybe the government. Kimemi, unfortunately, you are holding fort for government because part of our responsibility is also keeping government accountable. Is that perhaps you can learn from what we have been doing in organizing public participation forums. That let them be a continuous activity. Sio ile kungojea mpaka budget inapitishwa next week Monday na forums inafanywa leo Friday. Youth, let's champion for conversation. So with those very many things that any one of you angepewa nafasi ndiye angekuja aseme hivyo, allow me to say that we have a meal outside and I'm informed that there is also some groups that had been invited. So Pico will clarify on that. Then I can say something. You can pick another mic and share those details.
Well, thank you. Something small to bite. Hapa mahali tulikunywa chai. Si tunapakumbuka? As was communicated kindly of our environment, kama kuna plastic bottle, kindly just pick it, take it to the dustbin. On logistics, there's I know there are three main groups that are here. There's a group that was mobilized by DRIC, right? There's a group that was mobilized by Twaweza Communications, and another one was mobilized by Tribeless Youth. Okay? So once Titus finalizes, we'll have the first group that was mobilized by DRIC. We'll go and see Madam Josephine. We all know Josephine, that is the team DRIC. We'll see her at the extreme end of the compound. She'll be waiting for us there. After that, then we'll be able to communicate to the other group. So to avoid delays, as the first group goes, the rest of the team can go and pick lunch. Asante.
Thank you very much, Biko. And I said I will talk about three things. Indio, ya kwanza, unless you change direction, you are likely to end up the same place that you. Sawa sawa. Ya pili, if you forget anything else about this, tumeambiwa kuhusu politics. Just remember that you are either on the table or you are on the menu. Sawa sawa. Kama uko kwa mahali discussions zinafanyiwa, then you are the discussion. You are either on the table or you are on the. Then the last one, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. Sawa sawa. You don't get what you. So youth tusikae chini, tuseme ati sisi ni mayouth, watatuona manze vile tumesafa, vile hakuna job. We have to be on the table, not the menu. We have to negotiate. We will not get what we deserve. So with that, it's now my humble duty to declare this function today officially closed. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki.